Apocalypse ruined Plants vs. Zombies. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 50 Uzumaki Naruto? Zombie? Isn't it over? Liang Crossing, whose heart had already risen to his throat, asked anxiously. Not yet. Su Lin rolled his eyes. He was almost scared to death just now. I didn't expect Liang Crossing to be still watching. Glancing over, not only Liang Crossing, but also director Liu and Zhang Jiajia were watching. After all, it was the first time to see zombies and groups of zombies. They were both stunned and couldn't help themselves. But didn't it end like this before? Why do you still seem nervous? Liang Crossing asked cautiously. She noticed Su Lin's nervousness. There was even a hint of fear in this nervousness. This time is different. There is a powerful creature. It should be coming soon. Huh. Liang Crossing was stunned. The huge figure of the Egyptian giant zombie is not a powerful creature. Question mark? There are even more powerful than it. Question mark? When he thought of this, Liang Crossing himself trembled a little. It's okay. I'm here. Since we are all in this together, I'll protect you. Yeah. Liang Crossing nodded. Looking at Su Lin's back, he felt safe. At this moment, in the darkness in front of the farm, a dazzling light flashed. The world seemed to be shaken. Su Lin narrowed his eyes and looked ahead vigilantly. Such a movement must be that powerful creature. The sound of footsteps came slowly. It was not as earth-shaking as imagined, perhaps because of its small size. However, the pressure it brought was felt by Su Lin and others deep in the house. It was the fear from the depths of the genes, the instinctive fear of powerful and unknown creatures. Liang Crossing even nervously grabbed Su Lin's arm. He pinched it hard, but Su Lin had no reaction, immersed in this horror. When this powerful creature came to the farm, it gradually revealed its figure under the moonlight. When he finally saw its appearance clearly, Su Lin was completely stunned. Although some parts were different, such as rotten limbs, worn out clothes, and even half of the face without skin, with blood dripping. But, Su Lin recognized this hair color, this clothing. Su Lin recognized it. Even the forehead protector, Su Lin recognized it. He recognized everything. Because this so-called powerful creature, isn't it Uzumaki Naruto? Question mark? But it's a zombie version of Uzumaki Naruto. Su Lin was completely confused. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect that this so-called powerful creature. It turned out to be a character in the second dimension. But I didn't expect that even Uzumaki Naruto turned into a zombie. The slow-moving zombie Naruto, when he stepped into the attack range, immediately ushered in an overwhelming attack. Oh my god, this is exciting. Su Lin twitched the corners of his mouth. For a moment, he didn't know where to start complaining. Is this a human? Or a person with yellow hair? A foreigner? Liang Crossing was a little confused. But Su Lin was even more confused. He is Uzumaki Naruto. You don't know? Uzumaki Naruto? Liang Crossing frowned, and it seemed that he really didn't know. What about you two? Su Lin had to look at the two men next to him. It was acceptable for a girl to not know about the second dimension, but not about Naruto. But even Zhang Jiajia and director Liu were confused. Naruto, you don't know. The three of them shook their heads tacitly, indicating that they didn't know. Okay. Su Lin rolled his eyes. He already understood. Just like everyone didn't know about Plants vs. Zombies before. Either this is a parallel world, or because of the system, the relevant memories about all this have been automatically cleared. But now there is no time to verify it, because the counterattack of zombie Naruto has come. He stopped moving forward. He stretched out his stiff and slow hands, and made a few seals. Then it was his signature ninjutsu. Clone technique. He created 9 clones in succession, including himself. They occupied 5 areas. 2 zombie Naruto in 1 area. Damn it, they can use ninjutsu. However, the appearance of the next scene made Su Lin want to curse. It's okay to use ninjutsu. What about the Ninetales mode? Question mark? All the zombie Narutos were wearing a set of golden transparent clothes. Isn't that the golden body state of the Ninetales mode? Although Naruto was a zombie at this time, his movements were extremely slow. But under the background of the Ninetales mode, he was quite elegant. Adara Sengen. The plants planted in the 8th row were killed instantly. Come on, who's afraid of who? I'm waiting for you. Su Lin directly used the energy beams on the fire dragon grass in the 6th row of area D. If he remembered correctly, the real body of zombie Naruto was also in area D just right. It was this kind of dense opponent again. I saw the fire dragon grass jump up from the ground. The fire dragon grass leaped up suddenly, just like a real dragon. It raised its head, roaring down with a 1,000-pound flame. 3 flames hit the C area, D area and E area. It just happened to hit the zombie Naruto in the 7th and 8th rows. Kill instantly? It can't be done. But it can be seen with the naked eye that the golden clothes on the zombie Naruto have dimmed a lot. The attack is effective. Keep going. After using up an energy beam, Su Lin did not continue to use the energy beam move. He then chose to plant the energy flower. The cooling time of the energy flower is 60 seconds. The upper limit of energy beams is 3. Only after using up an energy beam, planting the energy flower will have an effect. When the energy flower is planted, the energy flower disappears and turns directly into an energy beam. Awesome. Seeing that he spent some sunlight points to plant the flower and then he could get a big move, Su Lin felt like he had turned on a cheat. He also directly launched the ultimate move of pea shooter. When dozens of peas passed by in unison and passed the torch stump at the same time. That scene, the flame peas were just like flaming meteorites, and they were thrown directly over. The storm-like offensive did not end. Cabbage shooter. With a snap, several cabbages were smashed directly over, and there was K1 in the front. K1 waved his fists and beat zombie Naruto with Ala. After this wave of offensive, several zombie Narutos have turned into ashes. Su Lin, who thought he had won, opened his mouth wide and looked at zombie Naruto's counterattack in surprise. Zombie Naruto took action. The golden clothes on their bodies turned into the head of Ninetales. Then, the Ninetales raised its head, and its bloody mouth contained surging energy. That was the tailed beast cannon. With a power, the tailed beast cannon was fired directly. Chapter 51, Pea Shooter vs Zombie Naruto. The black-tailed beast cannon seemed to contain the energy of destroying the heaven and earth. A light touch could distort the space in front of you. Not to mention, when this tailed beast cannon attacked the frontmost plant, the explosion caused a wave of shock. Not only was the first plant to bear the brunt of the disaster, but the 2 plants behind were also affected on the spot. Directly killed. No suspense for the first 3 plants in an area. But fortunately, this tailed beast cannon is like a big move. After the release, all the zombie Naruto were deflated and looked a little sick. With the previous hard push, the zombie Naruto has already come to the 4th row. In addition to the complete annihilation of Area D, there are still 1 or 2 zombie Naruto in other areas. The crisis is not over yet. Su Lin narrowed his eyes and stared at the battle situation in front of him. While praying that the plants would attack faster, he hoped that the cooling time of the energy flower would be shorter. If there is another energy beam attack now, the balance of victory will tilt towards Su Lin. TSK. Naruto, who has become a zombie, has lost his former sunshine and cheerfulness, and is now filled with a gloomy and dead air. Especially when it gets closer, the wounds on his face and the hideous face seem to be in a kind of frenzy. This frenzy drives him to jump forward, even if half of his legs are broken. Looking at the familiar hero of Konoha village in the past, the last one in the past, now the Hokage, turned into this, the field now. Su Lin can only sigh. The world has changed. With a crisp click, the zombie Naruto stretched out the claws of the Ninetales coat and twisted the pea head of the pea shooter in front of him directly. Damn, another one is gone. Su Lin gritted his teeth viciously. What's wrong? Liang Crossing asked anxiously. Why do I feel that the zombie monsters this time are advancing more than before? Director Liu and Zhang Jiaji are on the side, were also a little confused and panicked. Who knows what unimaginable things will happen if the zombies are allowed to advance like this. Director Liu swallowed his saliva. When he first saw the zombies appear, he was still thinking about volunteering to protect a few people. And after seeing such a ferocious zombie Naruto, He knew what it meant, that there are always people outside the sky. No, the two are not in the same world at all. Fortunately, Director Liu breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Su Lin did not let him go out to deal with the zombie monsters. Isn't this rushing to die? But Su Lin never planned to do such a wicked thing. He has dealt with zombies himself, and he knows that there is no way to fight zombies with human power alone. Don't worry. Su Lin pursed his lips. The only thing we can do now is to pray. Pray that we can defeat the zombies in front of us. Yeah. The people behind him clasped their hands nervously and began the so-called praying. With a glance, Su Lin noticed that the energy flower had 5 seconds left to cool down. 5, 4, 3. The zombie Narutos have already arrived at the third row. 2, 1, 0. Cooling is complete. Sufficient sunlight points. Su Lin waved his hand and planted the energy flower directly. Once the energy flower is successfully planted, it will be like a flash in the pan. It will turn into floating catkins and disappear. In exchange, it will be an energy beam that can reverse the situation. And Su Lin also used this precious opportunity on the frozen lettuce. Instant freezing. No matter how strong the Naruto zombies are, all beings are equal in front of the frozen lettuce. Except for the zombies with fire attributes that can shorten the freezing time, the rest are useless. When the large area of ice froze all the zombie Naruto, the temperature plummeted, and the cold wind even passed through the house, making the spectators feel a little chilly. Go. Su Lin waved his hand. Now there are enough sunlight points, and sunflowers are no longer needed. Su Lin generously shoveled all the 5 sunflowers in the first row. Yes. Shoveled. After shoveling the plants, you can also recycle some extra sunlight points. Su Lin has already gone all out. The first row, Area A, pea shooter. Area B, cabbage shooter. Area C, fire dragon grass. Area E, boomerang shooter. Area D, kiwi. Su Lin does not intend to be limited by the cooling time of plants. Plant whatever you can. Plant it first. At the same time, he was very considerate and cleverly planted potato mines, vegetable questions, and nuts in the third row. The most pitiful one among them should be the zombie Naruto in Area C. It was just frozen. Not only was he roasted by the fire dragon grass, but he was also blown to pieces by the potato mine under his feet. Seeing that he had solved another zombie Naruto, Su Lin also felt a little relieved. Under such strong pressure, he could solve one at a time. After a rough estimate, there were still 7 zombie Naruto. Their positions were also covered by heavy firepower. In addition, they were frozen by ice. At this moment, the balance of victory began to clearly come to Su Lin. After successfully solving the 3 zombie Naruto, the ice also collapsed. The 4 zombie Naruto who regained their freedom roared unwillingly. Then a Rasengan smashed directly over, easily killed the plant in front of him. At the same time, he took another step forward. Damn it. Su Lin gritted his teeth. Seeing that they had already reached the second row, the zombie Narutos were even more aggressive, and their arrogance was increasing. Now only the first and second rows of plants are left, struggling to hold on. But the plants in the second row may not last long. For zombie Naruto, as long as he releases the ninjutsu, he will be killed instantly, without any suspense. Ordinary scratching. Kill instantly as usual. The hearts of the other people were also beating wildly, and they were stuck in their throats. If there were tactical cucumbers, it would be great. Damn it. Su Lin gritted his teeth. At this time, a tactical cucumber would be thrown down, and it would be able to kill a lot of them instantly. How wonderful it would be. But there was no. With a bang, there was a vibration and explosion. It turned out that the nuts in the A area of the second row were eaten by zombie Naruto. The nuts exploded at the moment of death. It even shocked zombie Naruto back 1 square and retreated to the third row. After a little distance, the pea shooters in the A area of the first row seized this opportunity and shot crazily. There were no plants in the other areas, but they also completed their mission gloriously. Hold on. Pea shooter vs zombie Naruto. There is only 1 player left on each side. A fight to the death. Chapter 52. Defeat zombie Naruto. Pooh. The pea shooter attacked first, and a pea flew past, directly knocking off an arm of the already wounded zombie Naruto. Although he had gained enough lead, But Su Lin did not dare to relax. Zombie Naruto was a direct kill, not giving the plants any face. Now he could only pray that the pea shooter would be powerful. Tactical cucumber? Nothing. Energy bean? The energy flower is still on cooldown. If there was still an energy bean now, Su Lin would not be as nervous and helpless as he is now. Just use a big move and kill it in seconds. Su Lin. Liang crossing behind him nervously pulled Su Lin's sleeve. If that zombie monster defeated the last plant, what would happen? This. Su Lin bit his lip. The memory of being besieged by zombies last time was still vivid. At that time, all the plants died tragically, and the zombies had not been completely solved. They all swarmed to the cabin, constantly gnawing and smashing the cabin. At that time, Su Lin mustered up great courage and tried to use his body to fight against the zombies. However, neither the pistol nor the wooden chair could hurt the zombies at all. The zombies did not take Su Lin seriously at all. If it were not for the use of tactical cucumbers, I'm afraid that this cabin would have been gone long ago, and Su Lin and his friends would have been on the streets long ago. After taking a deep breath, Su Lin exhaled heavily. I don't know, but no matter what, I believe that the plants can defeat the enemy in front of them. It's long been different now. Su Lin's eyes suddenly bloomed with a firmness like a flame. It was a kind of confidence that everything was ready, only the test was missing. He believed that after so much preparation and the improvement of his strength, he was no longer the little chicken who was slaughtered by the zombies at that time. As if responding to Su Lin, after the pea shooter fired another pea, it actually made some adjustments. And this moment of adjustment directly made its mouth bulge. Puff puff puff. Peas fired continuously. The pea shooter's second level skill. It burst out directly at this critical moment. 6 consecutive peas went over, making zombie Naruto stagger several times. Half of his head and half of his body were gone. But zombie Naruto stood firm, taking slow steps, sounding a warning of death. Just as he stretched out his right hand, ready to hit the pea shooter and kill him instantly, the pea shooter seemed to have a cramp. He puffed up his big mouth again. Puff 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 puff. A burst of peas hit zombie Naruto again. The pea shooter is a 3rd level plant. With the quick loading skill, it can easily trigger the pea burst, and the attack power of the pea burst also increases. After dodging last time, zombie Naruto has no resistance this time. The first pea first blew up zombie Naruto's other arm, and the second one knocked his head off completely, then the whole upper body and his 2 legs. After completing the final kill, in a trance, Su Lin seemed to see the pea shooter gasping for breath after a fierce battle. Pea shooter was really hard working. Ding, congratulations on repelling all zombies and passing the 7th level. The system prompt came late. Hearing this, Su Lin finally breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, survived before Su Lin could relax. A bear hug rushed over from the side. A charming fragrance wafted into his nose. Great. Su Lin. We defeated the zombie monsters. It turned out to be Liang Crossing. She watched the battle from the beginning to the end. She knew how thrilling it was, especially when zombie Naruto released several powerful skills in succession. When the earth-shattering movement shook, Liang Crossing felt that she would never see tomorrow's sun again. The joy of rebirth made her jump for joy. In excitement, she rushed up and hugged Su Lin tightly. But soon, Liang Crossing herself reacted and left Su Lin with a flushed face. That. Su Lin scratched his head embarrassedly. It seemed as if he had taken advantage of Liang Crossing. He didn't know what to say. Sorry. Liang Crossing waved his hands repeatedly. I was too excited just now. Hahaha, that's right. It was really thrilling, but we finally defeated the strong enemy. You don't have to worry. Su Lin looked at Director Liu and Zhang Jiajia next to him. Originally, the zombie monsters at night could still be dealt with, but every 7 days or so, there would be some stronger zombies attacking. But as you saw, we finally defeated that powerful creature. Don't worry, I will work hard to improve the strength of these plants, and I will never let the zombie monsters destroy our last home. Although Director Liu and the others were still a little confused, especially about the powerful creatures that appear every 7 days, and the improvement of the strength of plants. They had no idea what Su Lin was talking about, but looking at Su Lin's determined eyes, a feeling of empathy spread in their hearts. It made them feel an unprecedented sense of security. Then, Su Lin opened the door and came outside. At this time, zombie Naruto was in a dying state, turning into starlight, slowly dissipating. Seeing this scene, Su Lin couldn't help but feel a variety of emotions in his heart. He also came to the gradually disappearing body of zombie Naruto. Although I don't know how you got here, I hope you can rest in peace, Naruto-kun. Do you know me? Zombie Naruto seemed to have regained a trace of self-awareness, looking at Su Lin in disbelief. Su Lin took a half step back in fear. You can speak. Yeah. I'm Uzumaki Naruto. From Konoha village I know, and you eventually became the Hokage, and saved the world. So what happened? I don't know either, zombie Naruto said weakly. Suddenly a mysterious force appeared in front of me, bit me, and I lost consciousness. I vaguely felt other changes in my body, as if I had traveled through some space, and when I regained consciousness, it had become like this. I'm sorry, Su Lin pursed his lips, embarrassed. It's okay, I just seemed to fall into a state of madness, with only killing in my mind. But it shouldn't have caused a big mistake, right? Yeah, that's good. If you can you help me see what's going on? And the situation of Konoha village please. By the way, what's your name? Su Lin. Su Lin. Okay, thank you. When zombie Naruto said this, he finally turned into starlight and disappeared. At the same time, 3 treasure chests were left behind. Chapter 53, Generous Rewards. Su Lin stared blankly at the place where the stars disappeared. He was completely stunned. He didn't expect that Naruto could actually speak, or in other words, have consciousness. According to Naruto, he was originally staying in Konoha village, and then he was turned into a zombie by some mysterious force, and dragged to this world? In that case, Su Lin frowned. Doesn't that mean that there is no Naruto in the Naruto world at this moment? Who is this system that has such a power? Hey, system. What's going on? Ding, just as you guessed. What I guessed? In other words, Naruto is dead. Ding, yes, that's right, you killed him. Bullshit. Su Lin rolled his eyes. If you didn't turn him into a zombie and let him attack the cabin, how could this happen? Ding, that's the fact. Then let me ask you, is it true that the so-called powerful creatures in the future will also be dragged from other parallel worlds in this way? Ding, confidential incident. Then, Su Lin swallowed his saliva. Can I go to the world of Naruto? Ding, confidential incident. Get lost. Su Lin shrugged. Although there are still too many things that he doesn't understand. But now he can only take it one step at a time. If possible, he also wants to go to the world of Naruto. First, he agreed to Naruto's request. Second, he also wants to figure out what is going on. His intuition tells him that the changes in this world are far beyond his imagination. It has a lot to do with his Plants vs. Zombies system. Since Naruto can come to his world, it is not a fantasy for him to go to Konoha village. However, the most urgent thing now is hey, my treasure chest, I'm coming. Su Lin jumped to the treasure chest in 2 steps. What Konoha village? What guilt for killing Naruto? He can only put it behind his mind for the time being. Su Lin himself can't protect himself in such a radiation apocalyptic world. Tomorrow? That's a matter for the future. What we need to do now is to improve our strength as soon as possible and expand the strength of the farm. Just when Su Lin was about to touch the first treasure chest, the system's reward was also late. Ding, congratulations on defeating zombie Naruto and repelling the 7th round of zombies. Ding, congratulations on getting 2666 experience points. Ding, congratulations on getting 10,000 sunshine points. Ding, congratulations on getting 1000 gold coins. Ding, congratulations on upgrading. Ding, congratulations on unlocking cherry bomb, steel ground spike, electric green tea. Ding, due to repelling 7 rounds of zombies, the zombies' strength has been improved, and now all zombies have been upgraded to the 2nd level. Ding, please note that the 2nd level zombies have more powerful strength. Please treat them with caution. Ding, please improve your own strength as soon as possible. The improvement of the zombies' strength will also bring about changes in the terrain. Only with strong strength can we deal with it better. Ding, congratulations on defeating Uzumaki Naruto from Konoha village, and your physical fitness is about to be tempered. I'll circle you, you broken system. Although the rewards are generous. But what follows is the overall improvement of the zombie's strength. Second level zombies. I thought the days ahead would be a little better. At most, I would be nervous when the powerful creatures attack. I didn't expect it. This pitfall system really doesn't give any face. There is also a terrain change. The system has come out to remind me. Anyway, I still can't relax. Then Su Lin opened all the treasure chests one by one. The first treasure chest received 3,000 gold coins. A full 3,000. Wouldn't it be great to use it to upgrade the plant class? Then came the second treasure chest. After opening it, there was a bag inside. Ding, congratulations on getting a space pocket. 10x 10 cubic meters. Please note that humans cannot be placed in this space pocket, and the things placed in it will not be affected by radiation. Space pocket? Not bad. It will be much easier to collect materials and so on. Su Lin nodded. In the past, it was very troublesome to carry so many bags when going out. Now it is much easier. A small pocket can hold everything. And when Su Lin opened the third treasure chest, he was almost crying with excitement. Ding, congratulations on getting the tactical cucumber. Oh my god, I finally have a tactical cucumber. Come earlier, I won't have to be so nervous just now. Su Lin was so excited that his eyes almost turned red. This tactical cucumber. No, I must save it for the 14th round of zombies. No matter what powerful creature it is, I will throw one down if it comes. Great harvest. At the same time, the level of the farm also rose 3 levels in a row. It reached LV15 at one time. System, plants vs. zombies level, farm LV15, plant, pea shooter, sunshine points. 16,505, plant land. 40 defense value. 300 over 300, experience value. 820 over 1300, ability, extraction, gold coin upgrade, unlocked plants, sunflower, pea shooter, nuts, potato butts, cabbage shooter, frozen lettuce, torch stump, charm mushroom, kiwi, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, energy flower, fire dragon grass, unlocked blueprints. Cherry bomb, steel ground spike, electric green tea, gold coins. 4150, plant advanced, pea shooter, level 3, cabbage shooter, level 3, sunflower, level 2, kiwi, level 2, nuts, level 2, frozen lettuce, level 2. Vegetable question, level 2, brilliant light, LV2, great harvest. Not only because of unlocking 3 new plants at once, but also because of getting so many sunshine points and gold coins at once. The road to plant advancement is right in front of you. But what about this tempering? Su Lin frowned, recalling the so-called reminder of defeating Naruto and tempering the body. But soon, he knew it. Because from his danshin, a ball of unimaginable heat suddenly exploded. It only took a moment. Su Lin felt this heat wave flowing through his blood and all over his body. The surging energy directly knocked him out. When Su Lin regained consciousness, he found that it was already daytime. And he was on the sofa in the living room. What the hell is going on? Su Lin supported his aching head and slowly sat up. Brother, are you awake? Su Yue looked at Su Lin worriedly. You suddenly fainted outside, or Director Liu and Zhang Jiajia helped you in. How long have I been unconscious? When Su Lin regained consciousness, the first thing he thought about was whether he had been unconscious for too long and missed the 8th round of zombies. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 54, Body Tempering. It was last night. Director Liu said on the side. We were scared to death last night. With a plop, you passed out. When we carried you in, your body was so hot. Yes, it can be described as boiling hot, Zhang Jiajia added. If it wasn't so late and your temperature was slowly dropping, we would have sent you to the hospital long ago. Liang Crossing pouted, his eyes full of worry for Su Lin. It was not until then that Su Lin noticed that everyone was around him, looking at him with eyes full of concern. Su Lin scratched the back of his head embarrassedly. He himself didn't know what happened last night. A coma made everyone worried. But this is normal. After all, Su Lin is the master of this farm. Moreover, only he can grow plants on the fields to resist zombies at night. And there is only one pea shooter outside at this time. If Su Lin can't wake up until night and the zombies attack again, what should we do? At least, Director Liu's 2 students, Xiao Hong and Xiao Wang, have begun to imagine what to do tonight. If it doesn't work, then steal the reserved dry food here and then leave. Anyway, it's better than waiting to die here, right? Fortunately, Su Lin woke up. This wake up came. Let everyone's hanging hearts land safely. I'm sorry, I made everyone worry. I don't know what happened. I suddenly fainted. Su Lin wanted to talk about the tempering. But when he thought about explaining the anime world, Konoha village, Naruto and so on, he decided to just fool around. I think it should be okay. I made you worry. Just then, a gurgling sound came. Su Lin looked at his stomach embarrassedly. Hahaha, I just happened to be hungry. Then let's eat. It's time for lunch. Su Yue carefully helped Su Lin up and brought him to the dining table. Everyone also cooked the food in the refrigerator and prepared a sumptuous lunch. Su Lin wanted to stand up to help, but was pressed directly on the table by Su Yue. Brother, you just woke up, so have a good rest. Well, then. Su Lin shrugged helplessly. Although he had just woken up, but he felt an inexplicable refreshing. He didn't look like a patient who suddenly fainted. He could feel that there was an unknown energy in his body, constantly sweeping and jumping in his body. This was a kind of comfort that was difficult to express in words. It seemed that the whole world was a lot clearer. Just like the Ren and Du meridians were opened, Su Lin had to use his own words to describe this feeling. At this moment, he just wanted to run a long distance to show his physical fitness. His intuition told him that he was afraid that the current world champions were not his opponents. In addition to his abundant physical strength and agility, he also felt that his biceps had become stronger. I'm afraid. Su Lin subconsciously glanced at Director Liu. Maybe. Su Lin thought silently in his heart. If I challenge Director Liu again at this time, can I win? So this is what tempering means. Greatly improving physical functions. Tut tut. After smacking his lips, Su Lin felt even hungrier. So he followed the others and ate heartily. After a hearty meal, they went about their own business. Before Su Yue went upstairs, she looked at Su Lin and said, Brother, you should just rest well today, and don't go anywhere. Got it? Su Yue said in a nagging tone. Su Lin felt the seriousness in Su Yue's tone. He had to curl his lips helplessly. If Su Yue spoke to him in this tone, he would have no choice but to nod obediently and not make him angry. But agreeing is agreeing, and doing it is another matter. After unlocking 3 plants, Su Lin had to collect materials quickly, not to mention the second level zombies that will appear tonight. There is also the so-called terrain changes. All these require Su Lin to improve his strength quickly. However, the most urgent task is naturally to upgrade the plants on hand as soon as possible. After making a fortune, how can you be worthy of your hard work if you don't squander it? At this time, Su Lin also sat obediently on the sofa. Seeing this, Su Yue showed a relieved smile and left with peace of mind. Su Lin didn't know that Su Yue had left. He was immersed in the plant advanced store that came with the system. First, he exchanged all the sunlight points for gold coins. Then he methodically checked what he could do at this moment. Oh my god. Su Lin pursed his lips. Unexpectedly, the number of gold coins required to advance a level 3 plant to a level 4 plant is an astronomical figure. Even if Su Lin, who has become rich, spent all his fortune, he still couldn't advance a level 3 plant to a level 4 plant. In desperation, Su Lin had to start with those low level plants. Already unlocked plants: sunflower, pea shooter, vertical fruit, potato bud, cabbage shooter, frozen lettuce, torch stump, charm mushroom, kiwi, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, energy flower, fire dragon grass, unlocked blueprints, cherry bomb, steel ground spike, electric green tea, plant advancement, pea shooter, level 3. cabbage shooter, level 3, sunflower, level 2, kiwi, level 2, nuts, level 2, frozen lettuce, level 2, vegetable question, level 2, let's get the fire dragon grass started. Looking at the unlocked plants, Su Lin has made a decision. In order to cope with the so-called terrain changes that follow, plants like fire dragon grass that have the ability to deal with intensive zombie attacks are the first choice. It's not enough to upgrade to the second level. Continue. Third level fire dragon grass. Ding. Congratulations on the successful advancement. Fire dragon grass. Second level. Get dragon breath. Ding. Congratulations on the successful advancement. Fire dragon grass. Third level. Get breath enhancement. Of course, there is also the standard configuration of the advancement, a 50% improvement in all attributes. And dragon breath allows fire dragon grass to have a 50% chance of spitting out blue flames. Compared with the original red flame, the blue flame is not only a change in appearance and color, but also a significant improvement in attack power, with a 75% increase in attack power, and the third level skill breath enhancement. It is even free of 50% triggering probability. Directly, the flames emitted by the fire dragon grass are all blue flames. The attack capability is so earth-shaking. Chapter 55, The Road to Advancement. Then, Su Lin upgraded the nut to the third level. Ding. Congratulations on the successful upgrade. Nut, third level, get Wrath of Nuts. The second level nuts originally had nutshell shattering, which had a 50% chance of causing an explosion when they died, and then repelled the nearby zombies. Wrath of Nuts increased the effect of the nutshell shattering skill by 50%. In this way, the probability of triggering nutshell shattering when the nut died was greatly increased, and it can also repel zombies by 1.5 areas. Ding. Congratulations on the successful upgrade. Potato mine, second level, get quick installation. Ding. Congratulations on the successful upgrade. Potato mine, third level, get improved fuse. Quick installation can shorten the preparation time of the potato mine by 50. And improved fuse is even more exaggerated. As long as the potato mine is directly planted, it is ready and can be detonated at any time. In this way, the potato mines can play a greater role. Su Lin can just plant the potato mines at any time. There is no need to wait for the preparation time. It will explode directly. Blast it clearly. Ding. Congratulations on the successful advancement. Frozen lettuce, level 3, get range enhancement. The frozen lettuce with long range attack ability. Originally, it could only attack targets within 3 grids. Now, after the enhanced range, it can directly attack targets within 5 grids. In other words, frozen lettuce can only play a miraculous effect when planted in the 5th row. Now it can also attack distant zombies when placed in the 3rd row. The extension of the distance means the expansion of the formation. It also means that there are more choices when facing zombie attacks. After advancing so many plants at one time, Su Lin is also ready to take a break for the time being. There are still 3 plants waiting to be unlocked. After the unlocking is successful, it will not be too late to arrange the advancement path. System, Plants vs. Zombies level, Farm LV15, Plant, Pea Shooter, Sunshine Points. 0 planting land. 40 defense value. 300 over 300, experience value. 820 over 1300, ability, extraction, gold coin upgrade, unlocked plants, sunflower, pea shooter, vertical fruit, potato bud, cabbage shooter, frozen lettuce, torch stump, charm mushroom, kiwi, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, energy flower, fire dragon grass, unlocked blueprints. Cherry bomb, steel ground spike, electric green tea, gold coins. 12,150, plant advanced, pea shooter, level 3, cabbage shooter, level 3, sunflower, level 2, kiwi, level 2, nuts, level 3, frozen lettuce, level 3. Vegetable question, level 2, potato mine, level 3, fire dragon grass, level 3, dazzling light, LV2. After stretching, Su Lin looked towards the living room. Several people were watching TV. Although it was strange that the small villa had expanded again due to the upgrade of its level and turned into a foreign-style apartment building, he felt that it was not strange at all. He was afraid that, if he continued to live here, it might become a castle. Then Su Lin looked carefully in the direction of the stairs. After confirming that Su Yue would not come down for the time being, he breathed a sigh of relief. Then he tiptoed and quietly slipped out. After pushing open the door, he casually planted sunflower and pea shooter. Just as he was about to ride his small motorcycle that would never get stuck in traffic, a cough came from behind him. Cough cough. Damn, Su Lin was so scared that he turned around and looked. It turned out to be Liang Crossing. What are you doing? You scared me to death. Su Lin panted and rolled his eyes. Are you going out again? Can't you take a rest? Liang Crossing pouted. The blush on her face was hard to tell for a moment whether it was because of shyness or because of the shame of scaring Su Lin. No need to rest. On the contrary, I feel full of strength and energy after waking up from the coma. That can't be like this. Su Yue will be worried. It's okay. It's okay. Besides, I go out during the day for the farm. You saw last night that if you can't improve your strength as soon as possible, you will be devoured by zombies. You go out during the day to improve the strength of the farm. Liang Crossing was interested, blinking his eyes, full of endless curiosity. Almost. Su Lin waved his hand and rode on the scooter. Don't tell my sister that I'm going out. Let's go. Bye. Hey, wait. Liang Crossing stretched out his hand and wanted to say something, but looking at Su Lin's back that had already left. In the end, he only muttered to himself, be careful, and rode on the happy scooter. I don't know if it was because of the tempering. Su Lin, who was blown by the breeze, felt refreshed. He even seemed to be able to sense the direction of the wind flowing through the trees. This was a feeling that was difficult to express in words. What a strange feeling. Could it be that I have become a martial arts master? Su Lin couldn't help frowning after laughing. Although 3 plants were unlocked at once this time. Cherry bomb, steel ground thorn, electric green tea. But the greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. The simplest plant material should be steel ground thorn. A steel bar plus an ale equals steel ground thorn. This is simple. Just find a construction site. A lightning plus a bottle of unified green tea equals electric green tea. Let's not talk about unified green tea. When the store is closed, it is difficult to find drinkable beverages or mineral water. What's more, they said that this so-called flash of lightning was so ridiculous. Could it be that Su Lin had to go to the wilderness and wait for a thunderbolt to roar down? I'm afraid it would take forever. The cherry bomb was even more outrageous. A cherry plant. This was still easy. But what the hell was a ton of bomb? A cherry plant plus a ton of bomb equals a cherry bomb. It was said to be a ton. It was just a pound of bomb, and Su Lin didn't know where to find it. This was not gunpowder that could be squeezed out of firecrackers. It was a real bomb. This flash of lightning. It seems that I can only wait until there is thunder and rain one day. But what can I do with this bomb? Do I have to go to the town government military? But how should I explain it? I'm afraid they will treat me as a terrorist and throw me out directly. Su Lin twitched his mouth. I really don't want to complain about this system. It just doesn't do anything. Very quickly, Su Lin arrived in Chunfeng City. It was getting more and more desolate and dilapidated. After coming to a construction site and looking around, Su Lin found the materials he needed, a steel bar and a nail. Synthesize them directly. Ding, congratulations on collecting all the materials and unlocking the steel ground spike. Ding, congratulations on unlocking the steel ground spike and gaining 50 experience points and 200 sunlight points. Chapter 56, Steel Spikes. Steel spike. Plant, steel spike. Description. Causes damage to all zombies that step on it. It has 3 spikes and can destroy 3 crushing targets. Each time it resists a one-shot attack, it loses a spike. Sunlight. 250 damage. 20 attack interval. 0.5 seconds. Cooling time. 7.5 seconds. Quality, green. Steel spike is a plant with a metallic temperament, so it decided to hold a heavy metal rock concert in Madison Rock Park. Once the news was released The tickets were immediately sold out. Steel spike is usually planted in the 8th row. It is a low-lying plant. Any zombie passing by it will be gnashed by its thorns. If it is used together with plants that have the ability to slow down and freeze, the effect on the plant will be even better. Not to mention the use of nuts. Plant nuts behind the steel spike, which is the 7th row. TSK. Just passing by the steel spike, you will be gnashed by its thorns. If you encounter nuts, you will be implicated by them. You can't move, and can only continue to endure the thorns of steel spikes. Done. Then the next step is to find a way to find the so-called lightning and bombs. After rolling his eyes, Su Lin planned to go to a military base in the suburbs to have a look. If it doesn't work, see if he can steal it. In the past, this would be absolutely impossible. Not to mention the heavy guards. The consequences of being discovered alone are not something Su Lin can bear. I'm afraid the patrol soldiers will shoot without hesitation. But now, the soldiers in the military base are all hungry. Coupled with the turbulent situation outside, it's called a difficult situation. Patrol? Forget it. Soon, Su Lin drove a small motorcycle to a military base in the suburbs. Although it was the first time to come to such a place. But Su Lin had heard of it before. There is a military base in the eastern suburbs of Chunfeng City, which is the largest one among the surrounding cities. I don't know if there are 10 tons of bombs here. Whether there are or not is another matter. What Su Lin is most worried about now is that the 10 tons of bombs have been taken out and used. Just look at the situation in Chunfeng City all the way here. There is looting and smashing everywhere. Su Lin himself had to take out his pistol to threaten and clear the way. Inspector? I'm afraid it's useless. If it goes on like this, the town government will send troops to suppress it. Looking at the dark walls and iron fences in front of him, Su Lin was worried. This doesn't look like it can be climbed over. After shaking his head, Su Lin tiptoed and walked along the wall to the gate. I didn't expect there were still people guarding it. Looking at the soldiers standing very straight at the gate, Su Lin rolled his eyes. Then, Su Lin turned back and came to the back of the gate, which was the side of the wall. Then let's take a look at my current physical fitness. Su Lin narrowed his eyes. The city wall in front of him was about 2 meters high. With the barbed wire on top, it was about 2 meters and 3 meters high. Su Lin took a deep breath and stepped back several steps. He took a slight horse stance and ran forward with all his strength. Jumped with help. It was like a meteor that drew an elegant parabola. Su Lin jumped up and actually successfully climbed over the city wall. The height of 2 meters and 3 meters was conquered by Su Lin just like that. After landing, he rolled over. Su Lin slid to the big tree next to him and hid. After a wave of operations, he also gasped for breath. The shocking jump just now was also a helpless move. Unexpectedly, it really succeeded. Su Lin, who was holding a try mentality, was completely because he felt that he could do it. And the reason why he was so confident was purely because his body had been tempered once. With his physical fitness greatly improved, he even had the confidence to force his way into the military base. Hey, this is the playground, and it looks like there's a restaurant over there, and a dormitory. That's probably the only place where tons of bombs could be placed. Su Lin fixed his eyes on a white rectangular building not far away. It felt like a basketball hall, but also like a research and development room. And it was a little exaggeratedly large. After looking around for a while and making sure that there was no one around, Su Lin tiptoed and slowly approached the building. When he arrived at an office building, the movement next to him made Su Lin alert. He had to hide by the trash can on the side to avoid being discovered. 2 people came out of the door. There was a middle-aged man in a green uniform. Then I'll trouble you, the commander. Okay, you don't know the relationship between the two of us, and what's more, the man called the commander continued, after hesitating for a moment. If that place really has a lot of supplies like you said, then it's enough for us to go and take a look. Oh, what do you mean? Alas, you don't know. The higher up right now can't take care of the whole country. The division commander sighed. I don't know if it was because of despair. The topic that was supposed to be a military secret was also spoken out by the division commander, as if no one was around. Now the treasury has been opened, and all the food and mineral water have been distributed. But who can imagine this situation of lack of successors and routes of water? Not to mention all the cities, even half of the cities can't hold on for a few days. Now, the higher ups mean that we should be self-reliant and wish for our own good fortune. But fortunately this situation has occurred worldwide. It's not that I'm gloating. But if other countries don't have these things, once they attack, we'll be in trouble. Yes. Standing in front of the commander was someone Su Lin knew. Zhang Xianming. Su Lin couldn't help rolling his eyes. Why do I meet this weirdo Zhang Xianming everywhere? Zhang Xianming sighed and said, that farm in the suburbs, those plants seem to have magic, and they will actively attack people. With such defensive measures, there must be a lot of supplies in the farm. No matter what, we can't let that kid Su Lin monopolize it all. Commander, I won't say much else. Just consider it as saving my life. Just give me a small portion of the supplies. The rest will be all yours. Armored vehicles, tanks, missiles, etc. all for me to use. That's a must. There's no need for us two brothers to distinguish between each other. We'll be ready to go the day after tomorrow. Then we'll go and blow up that farm together. The commander nodded. The two of them showed a determined smile, and the two big hands clasped together for a long time before they separated. Then I'll leave first. Then I'll go slowly. Looking at Zhang Xianming's departing back, Su Lin wanted to take out his pistol and shoot him. Chapter 57 Zhang Xianming's Conspiracy. What's this? Zhang Xianming saw that he couldn't capture Su Lin's small farm, so he ran here to seek help from the army. Fortunately, it was a critical moment of this special juncture. If it were any other time, Su Lin would not believe that Zhang Xianming had the ability to mobilize the army. It seems that Zhang Xianming is really influential in Chunfeng City. He even knows the division commander of the military base, and they are in cahoots with each other. Su Lin gritted his teeth. He knew that there was no benefit in shooting at Zhang Xianming now. He was afraid that he would be shot to death by the soldiers here. His purpose was to steal the bomb, so there was no need to waste time here. Okay, Zhang Xianming, remember this, the day after tomorrow, right? As long as you dare to come, I will dare to fight you and beat you to death. After taking a deep breath, Su Lin quickly sneaked away from the other side of the trash can. If he could synthesize the cherry bomb, then he didn't care about armored vehicles, tanks, and cannons. Bomb one of them. It's just that Su Lin, who was moving forward stealthily, remembered what the commander had said just now. There was something else in his words. It was clearly saying that the upper was already busy as hell and had no spare time to manage the city below. The other side of self-reliance is that when there is no tiger in the mountain, the monkey will be king. I remember that in my last life, it took at least half a month for this complete no town situation to appear. I didn't expect that there would be clues so soon. TSK. I have to tell Su Yue and the others about these things when I go back. Don't come out again. Soon. Su Lin came to the white building. Along the way, thanks to the 5 senses that were improved, after tempering his body, Su Lin was able to find out where the patrol soldiers were early and hide safely. When he came to the white building, Su Lin also sensed that 2 teams of people were coming from both sides. Oh no, there is no place to hide around. They are coming from the angles on both sides. Su Lin, who was looking around, became nervous. It was not easy to reach the destination. It would be no fun if he was caught. The roof of the building was too high. It was probably as high as 3 floors. It would take a superman to jump up. As the footsteps approached, a huge bead of sweat appeared on Su Lin's forehead. Give it a try. Su Lin gritted his teeth. He raised his head and focused his attention on the edge of the window above. After taking a few steps back, Su Lin accelerated and rushed up. Jumped again. While one foot stepped on the wall, the other foot stepped along with it. Like a monkey, he climbed up. He stretched out his hands and grabbed the edge of the window tightly. This window was at least 3 meters above the ground. Even so, Su Lin could hold it. With such a shocking physical fitness, he was a little scared. Su Lin, who was holding the window, began to pray in his heart, praying that the patrol soldiers were blind. Only in this way could he escape. I don't know if God is helping Su Lin. When the 2 teams turned the corner, they saw each other. At the same time, their attention was attracted by each other. They didn't notice Su Lin in the sky. After saying hello, handing out a few cigarettes, and complaining about being hungry, the two teams left. After they walked away, Su Lin breathed a sigh of relief, let go of the window, and slowly jumped to the ground. He shook his hands. Looking at his fingers, that turned white due to excessive force, Su Lin didn't feel tired, just a little sore. I feel that my current physical fitness is probably comparable to Superman. Ha ha ha. After avoiding the crisis, Su Lin was obviously in a good mood, and he also found the entrance and exit. It was on the wall on the other side. After successfully sneaking in, Su Lin began to tiptoe and carefully observe the inside. It looked like a scientific research laboratory with various scientific research equipment. Of course, the object of scientific research is all kinds of weapons. There are all kinds of long guns and cannons. On the other side, it seems to be a place for practicing gun shooting. With no one around, it gives Su Lin a chance to show off his skills. Bomb. 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 Coming to the second floor, there are all kinds of rooms, and the doors are full of various weapon loggers. Sniper rifles, pistols, and various types of submachine guns are all available. Finally, Su Lin came to a room marked with bomb. Finally found it, but how to deal with this lock? Su Lin twitched his mouth. He knew how things could go so smoothly. You can't just put a warehouse full of dangerous items like bombs. Now in front of him, it was a combination lock. This is embarrassing, and there is a password fingerprint. Try your best to turn a bicycle into a motorcycle. Su Lin took out his pistol without hesitation and aimed at the combination lock. Bang! Shoot directly. The combination lock was smashed to pieces. At the same time, the entire military base was filled with urgent alarms. Su Lin also seized the time and kicked the iron door open. Looking at the dazzling array of bombs in front of him, Su Lin's heart, which had kicked to his throat, finally settled down. He was worried just now. What if there were no bombs inside? In addition, such a rough way of unlocking caused alarms to sound everywhere. If there is no harvest, it will not be so easy to sneak in next time. Now, hurry up and pick up the bombs in front of you. Fortunately, there is a space pocket. Otherwise, if there are 10 tons of bombs, Su Lin doesn't know how to move them. Su Lin took out the space pocket. It was just a small sack. Then he waved his hand, and all the bombs in front of him ran into the space pocket. Done. Seeing that it was so smooth, Su Lin couldn't help but smile. Then he ran away. While running, he did not forget to take out the time bomb from the space pocket. Just like what was shown in the TV series, time bombs were placed at various places along the road. Zhang Xianming was counting on the help of the division commander to drive armored vehicles, tanks, and lead a large force to attack the small farm. Since it was confirmed that it was the enemy, Su Lin would definitely not hold back. Moreover, after the alarm bells rang, Su Lin had to make some big noise to escape successfully. Sure enough, when Su Lin jumped up and jumped out of the gate, several patrol soldiers had already rushed over. When they saw Su Lin appear in front of them, they subconsciously took out their submachine guns and pointed them at Su Lin. Stop. Put your hands up. Who are you? As soon as the words fell, boom. A shocking explosion. Chapter 58 Escape. The powerful force directly blew up half of the laboratory. After the loud bang, the ground was in a mess, and the flames and smoke rose to the sky. The soldiers who came forward were all blown away by the sky-high explosion. If it was just a time bomb, it would not have such a powerful force. It was more because of the various weapons and gunpowder stored in the warehouse. Su Lin himself didn't know. If he knew, the timing device would have to be adjusted back. But fortunately, it exploded at this time. Otherwise, those soldiers would have opened fire directly, and he was the most unlucky one. He was directly blown several meters away. Fortunately, his physical fitness is not comparable to the past. Just when Su Lin was about to hit the ground, he hurriedly somersaulted over and avoided secondary damage to a great extent. Finally, he squatted on the ground and bit his tongue hard to wake himself up as soon as possible. It's exciting enough. After shaking his head, Su Lin stood up again and ran away. He focused his mental power on his ears, constantly sensing where the pursuers might appear. Here. The intruder is here. A team of people first discovered Su Lin. Stop. We are going to shoot. Shoot your brother-in-law's gun. Su Lin took out a small pistol. While running quickly, he squinted his eyes tightly, and with full concentration, the soldiers in front of him were as easy as targets. Ping. Shoot directly. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots. 8 shots were fired in succession. Hit the cars of 8 soldiers not far away one by one. This small pistol rewarded by the system. But it has unlimited bullets. It allows Su Lin to shoot as much as he wants. What's more, Su Lin's physical fitness at this time is far superior to that of ordinary people. In the case of fast movement, he can still shoot steadily and accurately hit the enemy. Su Lin jumped lightly and past the wailing and crying soldiers in front of him. There was even a hint of provocation. He didn't want to kill anyone himself, just restrict the actions of the other party. Very quickly, Su Lin ran to the side of the gate. After turning a corner, there was a burst of gunfire. More than a dozen submachine guns fired at the position where Su Lin appeared. Fortunately, Su Lin's perception ability has been greatly improved. Just when he was about to step out, he stopped immediately. The bullets were all fired on the ground and the corner wall. Shoot. Keep shooting. Suppress with fire. At worst, break that wall. The commander gave the order. The soldiers naturally did it. They took turns to fire wildly at the corner, where Su Lin was hiding in units of 5. Damn it. Su Lin leaned against the wall nervously, as if only this could bring him a little sense of security. If we keep wasting time like this, it will be bad if a large army comes. Staring at the strong gunfire, Su Lin's brain was working rapidly, thinking about the current response method. He took a few steps back and looked at the 2-story building in front of him that helped him block the rain of bullets. Su Lin directly took out several grenades from his space pocket. It seems like I pulled the safety pin. Su Lin pursed his lips. He mustered up his courage and did what was shown in the movie. Su Lin directly pulled the safety pin on the grenade. Then he used all his strength to throw it directly to the roof of the 2nd floor. It flew in a perfect parabola and hit the soldiers accurately. The soldiers saw this familiar, black little toy falling from the sky. They were so scared that they ran away one after another. Boom. There was an explosion. Just when the soldiers were panicking, Su Lin had already run out from the angle just now. He ran straight and sprinted towards the wall not far away. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Just as the commander was cursing and commanding, there was another explosion. Boom. The dirt splashed by the grenade directly covered his face. Su Lin kept throwing grenades while running. The grenade went off with a loud bang, and the soldiers dared not move forward. At the same time, they were also a little surprised. On the one hand, Su Lin was so strong that he could throw the grenade from such a long distance. On the other hand, the aim was too bad. It basically didn't hit anyone. It just exploded in front of the crowd, and there were clouds of dirt and layers of smoke. Oh no, he threw a smoke bomb. There was a swishing sound. Black smoke rose in front of Su Lin. The soldiers hurriedly fired wildly in that direction. But when the smoke dissipated, the man was gone, but there were dozens of bullet holes on the wall. Su Lin, under the cover of the smoke, had already climbed up the wall in 2 steps, jumped up, and ran away. Quick. Chase. Divide the troops into 2 groups, and see where that little bastard is. One group of people will go outside, and the other group of people will look around. The commander didn't believe that someone could directly climb over the wall. Even their well-trained elite soldiers couldn't do it. Just an ordinary person. But in order to be careful, he still split into 2 teams to search. But when Su Lin came to the outside of the wall, his beloved motorcycle happened to be next to him. He also rode the motorcycle directly and drove away. Damn, I was shot again. Su Lin glanced at the wound on his left arm that was constantly bleeding. It felt like there was still a bullet in his arm. But now it's better to run for your life, so as not to be caught up. Su Lin gritted his teeth and endured the pain of the wound, so as not to faint directly. No, we have to find a clinic or hospital to see. We have to plug the wound first, otherwise. Soon. Su Lin returned to Chunfeng City again. When he came to the city center hospital, his old face turned black. There was no hospital in front of him. There were all kinds of people outside. They occupied the hospital entrance like hooligans and gangsters. They looked like they ate, drank, defecated, urinated and slept here. And the hospital was already dark. Are you crazy? There's no point in occupying the hospital. seeing Su Lin approaching on a motorcycle. Several strong men at the door stood up and stared at Su Lin. It seemed that, if Su Lin dared to get closer, they would attack without hesitation. Su Lin squinted his eyes. After confirming that this hospital could not treat him, he had no choice but to turn the car around and go to other hospitals. I'm afraid other hospitals are not good enough, or let's go to a small clinic. My consciousness is a little fuzzy. As more blood was lost, Su Lin felt his consciousness become more and more blurred. He had to park the scooter on the side of the road. There happened to be a small clinic with a half-closed shutter next to it. Just when he was about to go in, he didn't expect a young man in a big white coat to pass through the clinic in a parabola and throw him out directly. Chapter 59. First Murder. Su Lin's mouth twitched. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. He knew it without thinking. Although the man in front of him was a little young, he looked so gentle and wore a big white coat. He must be a doctor in this clinic. But if he was a doctor, why did he kick him out of his own territory? Su Lin staggered forward and asked softly, "Hello, is this still a clinic? Are you blind?" The young man in the big white coat rolled his eyes at Su Lin. "If this is not a clinic, then what is it?" He stood up cursing, and it was obvious that he was in a very bad mood. "Then why were you kicked out?" "There are robbers inside," the young man said helplessly. When he looked at Su Lin directly, his expression was slightly stunned. Are you injured?" "Yes, I was shot." "That won't work. The bullet must be taken out quickly, otherwise it will be infected." Realizing that Su Lin was a patient, the young man's attitude changed. "Damn, those robbers. This is just a shabby clinic. What can be robbed? I can't help you remove the bullet." Su Lin was also stunned. The young man's cursing just now made him lose his composure. He didn't expect that he was a serious doctor. But at the moment, when he finished speaking, a gurgling sound came. The young man was growling with hunger. Su Lin shrugged. "Can you help me with the treatment? The hospital has also been occupied by a group of gangsters, and there is no way to get in." "Of course, I will repay you." Hearing this, the young man frowned, and he looked straight at Su Lin. "If that's the case, please go back. Before the disaster, I still had to make a living, so I naturally charged fees. But now, don't mention money, I treat people for free." Huh. Su Lin widened his eyes. For a moment, he didn't know what to say to the young man in front of him. The young man also showed a maturity that was not in line with his age. He said in a clear and logical way, "Health is at stake, life is entrusted to you. When I entered the sacred medical school, I volunteered to devote myself to medicine, adhered to medical ethics, respected teachers and discipline, studied hard, worked tirelessly, strived for excellence, and developed in an all-round way." Seeing the young man trying to hold back his pale and tired face, he continued to nag a lot of words about being a benevolent doctor and saving the world. Su Lin also interrupted his nagging. His body couldn't bear it anymore. He would fall into a coma in a minute. "Stop talking nonsense, chattering. Let's go in and drive the criminals out first." After that, Su Lin directly grabbed the young man's hand and said, "My name is Su Lin. What about you? Leader, come with me." After that, Su Lin went directly into the clinic. Although this clinic is small, it is also small but complete. But it looks a bit messy at this time. There are 3 people rummaging around in it. It seems to be the gangster that leader mentioned. They looked irritated. "Damn, stinky doctor. What a crappy clinic. There's not even any food." That's right, he's still talking about medical ethics. He's almost out of food, but he's still serious. He really thinks he's a gentleman. Why don't you get some iodine, disinfectant, etc., so you can disinfect the injured area later? Hey, you 3. Su Lin injured the pain and glared at the 3 people fiercely. "Oh my god. The pretentious little pretty doctor has found help. Get out. Right now." Su Lin gritted his teeth. Big beads of sweat slowly slid down his forehead. He can't hold on for much longer. If he doesn't receive treatment, he might faint. But the 3 obstacles in front of him were still swaggering towards Su Lin and the others. "Hey, who gave you the courage to talk to me like that? Come, bring me the food you have." "That's enough." Li Da, who was standing behind Su Lin, could no longer bear such grievances. Or rather, he could not bear it. Someone was making trouble in his clinic and blocking him from saving people. "Get out of here quickly." I'm going to perform surgery. Put down those iodine and disinfectants. They are essential for surgery. Only by putting them down can I save more people. The three gangsters were stunned. They looked at each other and laughed loudly. It was as if they had heard some shocking joke. Ha ha ha. I didn't expect that in the face of this disaster. There are still such idiots and good people. It's so funny. I thought I was healing the world and saving the people. Damn, this is the best joke I have ever heard in my life. Seeing the three gangsters like this, Su Lin stopped talking nonsense and took out his pistol directly. Bang. 1 shot. Bang. 2 shots. Bang. 3 shots. There is no point in talking. If you don't agree, shoot continuously, and every shot hits the head. Kill the 3 people in front of him directly. Leader, stop talking. I can't hold on any longer. Don't give me anesthesia. I have something to do tonight. Save me. I have food. Before he fell into a coma, Su Lin directly took out some food from the space pocket. On the one hand, it was used as the cost of the operation, and on the other hand, it allowed Lida to fill his stomach before the operation, so that he would not be too weak later. This was the first time Su Lin killed someone. Although in such a chaotic world, Su Lin also understood deeply that killing is something that is bound to happen. But being able to be so decisive and direct is also a last resort. His physical condition can't be delayed any longer. If he doesn't make some decisive decisions, when he falls into a coma in a minute, it will only bring trouble to himself. Once he falls into a coma, only Lida is left. How can he face 3 gangsters? Question mark? If he just shoots to threaten and drives away the 3 people, what will happen? What should he do if the 3 gangsters realize that Su Lin is just a weakling and come back to kill him? Su Lin will not joke with his life. He has tried his best to survive. He will not dwell on such things. As for what kind of attitude and mood Lida will have towards him after he does this, he does not know. He also does not know whether Lida will save him after witnessing him shooting and killing 3 people. All this is a gamble, but the facts prove that Su Lin made the right bet. When he regained consciousness and slowly opened his eyes, he found himself lying in a small room on a hospital bed. Awake. Lida, who was sweating profusely, couldn't help but smile when he saw Su Lin waking up. Before Su Lin could express his gratitude, Lida grabbed some food next to him and ate it with relish. Su Lin was stunned. Chapter 60, The Serious Dr. Lida. While wolfing down the food, Lida had no time to pay attention to Su Lin. Su Lin's mouth twitched, and he looked at Lida with a puzzled look. I remember I gave you the food before you fell into a coma. Yeah. Lida swallowed hard and stroked his throat with all his might. It seemed that only in this way would he not choke. Then why did you wait until now to eat? That's because, after a heavy burp, Lida slowly explained, I haven't saved you yet. What right do I have to eat? I only have the nerve to eat after seeing you wake up. Well, I was afraid that you didn't have the strength to perform the operation, so I took out the food when you were in a coma. Lida shook his head after hearing this. This is my professional ethics. I have to save you no matter what, and then I have the nerve to eat the food you give me. That's alright. Thank you for saving my life. It's okay. It's okay. Your injury wasn't serious to begin with. You were just hit by a stray bullet. Lida waved his hand, as if this was nothing unusual for him. If it weren't for the excessive blood loss, Lida swallowed another large piece of meat and continued, you wouldn't have fainted like that. Anyway, I still have to thank you. Su Lin stood up and said solemnly. At this time, in addition to the pain in his arm, he only felt the fainting caused by excessive blood loss. He didn't feel much else. Su Lin licked his dry lips and said, don't you feel uncomfortable with my behavior just now? After hearing this, Lida raised his head and looked at Su Lin in surprise. Are you not from the paradise? Such things have happened one after another in recent days. It's just that they don't have the means like you. Lida twitched the corners of his mouth. Murder? Yesterday he encountered a tragic chase in the street. The machete chopped down, and blood splattered on the spot. Half of his head was chopped off, just for a bottle of mineral water in someone else's hand. But this was the first time he had seen someone like Su Lin with a weapon in his hand. Method? Oh, you mean a pistol? It was just a coincidence. Yeah, I understand you. You were almost unconscious at the time. I couldn't deal with the 3 gangsters alone, and I can't treat everyone. It's obvious that he is a vicious person. There is no need for him to live. Li Da showed Su Lin an approving look. Ha ha ha. Su Lin laughed and scratched the back of his head. It seems that he was making a fuss and being self-righteous. But it was, just as Li Da said, living in that small farm that seemed like a paradise for too long. Su Lin had long been accustomed to such peace. He didn't know much about the fighting and killing in Chunfeng City. Li Da saw that Su Lin seemed to be about to start walking, so he quickly stopped him. You'd better rest now. If you lose too much blood, an ordinary person would probably be in a coma for several days. But your health is fine, and your nutrition is sufficient, so you can wake up so quickly. That won't work. Su Lin shook his head and glanced at the dusk outside the window. I have to go back, otherwise my family will be worried, and I have something to do at night. Hearing this, Li Da was no longer as calm as before. Then he said angrily, are you a doctor or me? I told you to rest, so you rest. I saved you, not to let you take risks. Do you understand? Su Lin pursed his lips. He couldn't do anything about it. Well, don't be angry first. My situation is also a bit special. Otherwise, you can come with me. After all, the person in front of him was his lifesaver. In addition, Li Da's character was so upright and serious. He was also happy to let such a person settle in his small farm. Then, Su Lin also told him that he had a magical small farm. There are also mysterious zombies that appear at night. Hearing this, Li Da was stunned. Not everyone can accept such an incredible thing. But considering that under such circumstances, Su Lin still has fresh food. He can even distribute it to others. He can only believe it. No. Li Da shook his head. Don't you believe me? Su Lin was a little anxious. That's not the case, but I can't leave here. Li Da said seriously. You know the situation here. I know. It's so dangerous now. Why are you still here? It's precisely because of the danger that I have to stay here. Saving the dying and healing the wounded is my mission. The hospital has been occupied. I'm afraid that my clinic is one of the few in the entire Chunfeng City. In this case, the number of injured people will only increase. How can I ignore these people? After hearing this, Su Lin couldn't help rolling his eyes. Okay, another stubborn person. But after hearing what you said, I also know that the situation is critical. You should go back and protect your small farm. Just don't do hard labor these days and have a good rest. Then, Su Lin also understood. It would be difficult to persuade this persistent person in front of him. Perhaps he can only wait until he figures it out himself. Then let's do this. Anyway, I have it, and you are always welcome. Then he took out some food and drinking water from his space pocket. When Li Da saw the drinking water, his eyes were fixed on it. After swallowing, he asked, is this water drinkable? Of course, it is guaranteed to be natural and harmless. After hearing this, Li Da grabbed the drinking water, unscrewed the lid, and gulped it down. Ah, so cool. TSK, I asked you to come with me, but you won't. No, that won't work. Li Da shook his head. I want to save a patient. Come on, come on. I know, I've given you all these, and I could have given you more, but you also know the principle of possessing a treasure and being guilty of it. As for me, I come to Chunfeng City almost every day, and I'll just bring some food and water when I get there. Hearing that he had become an animal waiting to be fed in the zoo, Li Da wanted to say something. But he was interrupted by Su Lin. It's decided. You won't come with me anyway. If you want to save more people, you have to stay alive, right? I have only one condition. After all, the number is limited. Please don't reveal it or give it to your patients. I understand that. Li Da nodded. Just like you said, possessing a treasure and being guilty of it. Well, I still have to say, thank you. Then I'll leave first, and you're always welcome. Well, goodbye. Li Da also cast a grateful look at Su Lin. When Su Lin walked out of the operating room door, the system prompt also came late. Ding, please note that someone has invaded. Do you want to blacklist them? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel. Mundo fanfic novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 61. Invasion. Invasion? Could it be? Su Lin gritted his teeth. Could it be Zhang Shanming? Isn't that the day after tomorrow? Why is he bringing the army over now? System, give me the perspective. Wait, the vision is being shared. Soon, Su Lin saw the situation outside the farm in his mind. Looking around, there was a sea of people, probably about 50 or 60 people. Fortunately, it was not the army. There were no armored vehicles, tanks, or cannons. There were only people, and all kinds of knives, pots, and pans in their hands. The leader, Su Lin knew. It was the so-called leader, Yan Wu. The group of people in the Vulcan fortress. Su Lin frowned. Why did Yan Wu come to join in the fun? It's true that anyone would come, but when Su Lin took a closer look, he understood it instantly. Who is standing next to Yan Wu? It's that woman, Chen Milin. Damn, I can tell at a glance that it must be Chen Milin who brought it here on the bus. I'll give you a favor. You really don't know what you are. Heh. After a sneer, Su Lin also tried to plant plants directly for defense. But the system prompted that the distance was too far to plant. Hurry back. At the same time, Su Lin also noticed that the 3 bodies of the gangsters were gone in the lobby of the clinic. It seemed that leader had carefully dealt with them. Right on the scooter, Su Lin turned the accelerator handle all the way to the bottom, roaring away, speeding like lightning. Quick, quick, faster. Su Lin was extremely anxious. If it was an ordinary person, he wouldn't be too worried. The pea shooter that had been arranged before and Director Liu sitting in the house should be able to deal with it. But the opponent is the Vulcan fortress, the Yan Wu with the power of fire. I must go back quickly and plant powerful plants again. What's more, I have a pistol with unlimited bullets in my hand. At this time, Su Lin, who was sharing the same line of sight, was also observing the situation on the farm while rushing back quickly. Baby, is this the farm you mentioned? Yan Wu said, holding Chen Milin's slender waist. Yes, there must be a lot of supplies inside. Otherwise why would Su Lin value this place so much? Humph, I didn't expect that Su Lin, who owns a piece of farmland, would still want to do spy work. I didn't expect it. What a villain. Yan Wu said viciously. Chen Milin also told him about the scene when she came here last time. The plants were like being cast a spell. They attacked frantically. Of course. Chen Milin was also very clever to conceal the fact that she came here with Zhang Shanming in order to find out the situation and to be conservative. Yan Wu brought so many followers, just in case. The people who stayed in the house also noticed the movement outside. They all observed the group of uninvited guests through the window. Who are these people? Liang Crossing narrowed his eyes. His eyes were a little uncertain. I tried to contact Su Lin just now, but the phone was not connected. Now, everyone in the room could only watch helplessly as their habitat was surrounded. Zhang Jiajia pursed his lips, then mustered up great courage and said, I know him, from the Vulcan fortress, the leader. Zhang Jiajia was stunned. He immediately changed his words to Yan Wu. He has the miracle of releasing fire. But according to Su Lin's analysis afterwards, it should be the mutation caused by nuclear radiation. Oh. Liang Crossing raised his eyebrows. He remembered that Zhang Jiajia was driven out of the Vulcan fortress and came here with Su Lin. They are so aggressive. They must not be good people. Wait for me to go out and teach them a lesson. Director Liu said angrily. Director Liu, stay calm. Liang Crossing took the opportunity to glance at Su Yue. Su Yue had never seen such a scene before, and her slightly shrunken and trembling figure also showed her fear. And Liang Crossing's glance also gave Su Yue some courage. Before Su Lin left, he also left plants behind. There are too many people outside. Let's wait and see if the plants can directly repel the group of people. Liang Crossing gave the advice in an extremely calm tone. And it was this calm tone that gave everyone a great sense of security. However, although the sense of security rose sharply, but it couldn't help. Director Liu's two apprentices Zhao Wang and Zhao Hong looked at each other in bewilderment. They originally thought that after following Director Liu to live in this small farm, they would be safe and sound, and they would not have to worry about food and drink. But the movement at night was still vivid in their minds. Now someone came to the door to make trouble. Is this really a paradise? And outside the house, under the command of Yan Wu, several brave believers wearing wooden shells walked up with a stirrer in their hands. Su Lin naturally set everyone to the blacklist. The moment they entered the range, the pea shooter was even more motivated, and he shot a few crazy shots. The pea smashed the wooden shells used by the believers for defense. The believers screamed. But they were indeed the believers who were successfully brainwashed by Yan Wu. Their eyes were filled with unwavering courage. One step, and another step. For the so-called leader, for the so-called Vulcan fortress, they were willing to sacrifice their lives. However, the gap in strength was right in front of them. Although the sprayed peas could not directly penetrate the flesh and blood of the believers for the time being, but they also made their bodies bumpy and bruised. As one of the believers was knocked away, the remaining few could not hold on for long, and were directly ejected by the peas. Yan Wu looked at the believers who flew over, and lay in front of him with an expressionless face. They were beaten black and blue, with blood on their heads. They were curled up in pain. They hugged themselves tightly, as if only this could relieve some of the pain. Waste. Yan Wu only glanced at the wounds of the believers, then turned his head away and ignored them. But what he saw was true. He originally thought that Chen Milin was just exaggerating. Unexpectedly, it was true. Yan Wu pursed his lips. His brain was working quickly, and he was thinking about one thing. That is, I didn't expect that this Su Lin is also a superpower like me. I really underestimated him. Yan Wu naturally moved Su Lin's farm closer to the direction of superpower. But, Yan Wu raised his hand, squinting his eyes, and hesitated for a moment. It seemed that he also found that the distance was too far. As a last resort, he had to move forward a few steps. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Soon, Yan Wu entered the range of the pea shooter. Pooh. The pea shooter fired a pea without hesitation. But just when the pea was about to hit Yan Wu's face, boom. A ball of fire swallowed the pea. After devouring it completely, it flew out further. Chapter 62. Are you stealing from here? It directly hit the pea shooter just now. The pea shooter hit by this ball of flames lost half of its head, and even several leaves were burned, and its body was black and charred. Oh. Yan Wu slowly put his hand up. Wasn't the flame just now fired by him? But what he didn't expect was that one shot was not enough. Then, go to hell. Yan Wu laughed. The hand he stretched out was like a laser gun. Bang bang bang. No. It was a flame machine gun. From left to right, from right to left, Yan Wu continuously fired flame balls, bombarding the plants in front of him. The pea shooters in the 8th row were the first to turn into ashes and floated in the air. Then came the sunflowers in the 7th row. A whole row of sunflowers. In order to maximize the benefits of sunlight points, Su Lin naturally planted sunflowers in all areas from the 1st row to the 7th row. Only the pea shooters in the 8th row played a defensive role. But now it's hot. The blazing flames devoured all the plants planted, and even burned a whole piece of farmland. Looking at the raging fire in front of him, Director Liu in the house gritted his teeth in anger, and was about to rush out. Wait. Liang Crossing grabbed Director Liu. What? Miss Liang, let go of my hand. I have to teach that man a lesson. Where are you going? If you were still half believing and half doubting just now the facts are in front of you. The man called Yan Wu does have the power of fire. How can you, a flesh and blood body, resist? How can you fight? Then Director Liu was stunned. As the saying goes, concern leads to confusion. Looking at the farmland in front of him being destroyed like this, he forgot that the other party had a superpower. In fact, it was not just him. The rest of the people looked panicked. It felt like this ball of flames was penetrating through the window wood. As the temperature in the house rose, everyone became more and more anxious, especially Zhang Jiajie. After all, the Vulcan fortress outside was also his old employer. He also didn't know why the Vulcan fortress would come to make trouble like this. Is it because of me? It's impossible. Maybe Yan Wu is such a petty person. If it's really me, Zhang Jiajie muttered silently in his heart. If it's really me, in order to repay Su Lin for taking me in, I have to go out. As if he had made up his mind. Zhang Jiajia took a step, but he was also grabbed by Liang Crossing. Zhang Jiajia, what are you doing? Miss Liang, this group of people outside must be looking for me. I don't know why they know I'm here. I'm afraid they are unwilling to see that I live here happily. Zhang Jiajia took a deep breath, and his eyes flashed with a full determination to die. Just hand me over and protect everyone's safety. Hearing this, the other few people were also stunned. They really didn't think of this possibility. They thought they were just here to make trouble, capture this place, and obtain supplies. Speaking of this, Xiao Wang and Xiao Hong on the side also started to make a fuss. So it's you, kid. I didn't expect you're a slave of two families. Yes, Miss Liang, let go quickly. Hand over Zhang Jiajia, so that we can survive. I originally thought that only women would change their attitudes faster than turning pages of a book. Unexpectedly, Xiao Wang and Xiao Hong were not to be outdone. They were still calling Zhang Jiajia brothers during the day. In the blink of an eye, they looked at Zhang Jiajia with extremely disgusted and disdainful eyes. It can be called a plastic brotherhood. Liang Crossing said nothing, just glanced at Xiao Wang and Xiao Hong lightly. In those indifferent eyes, it seemed that they said something, but it also seemed that they said nothing. Then Liang Crossing looked at Zhang Jiajia again. First, we don't know whether they are here to find you, so don't be so self-indulgent. Second, I don't think so. I've seen the woman standing next to Yan Wu. She came here to find Su Lin before. At that time, she was followed by another man. Su Lin was very determined to block them out. So I think it's the woman's problem that the Vulcan fortress came here. Finally, Liang Crossing stared at Zhang Jiajia straight, making Zhang Jiajia a little scared. Here, Su Lin has the final say. He has to decide to hand you over before you can go out. If not, you can't go out either. Hearing such overbearing words, Zhang Jiajia didn't know what to say for a while, but he still listened to the first 2 points. It has nothing to do with me. 9 out of 10. Although the tone was a little unsteady, Liang Crossing's firm look had already given Zhang Jiajia great courage. It reduced the guilt in his heart by several points. That's good. Zhang Jiajia stroked himself gently and finally breathed a sigh of relief. Seeing that the matter was over, Xiao Wang and Xiao Hong were not happy. They wanted to say something, but Liang Crossing glared at them. The two looked at each other for a moment, with an uneasy look in their eyes, as if foreshadowing something. Then Sister Liang, Su Yue on the side nervously pulled Liang Crossing's sleeve. What should we do next? Liang Crossing exhaled and said slowly, wait. Now we have to wait. And believe in Su Lin. Believe that he will definitely come back. This farm must be closely related to him. All the plants have been burned by the fire. There is no reason for him not to know. At this moment, he must be going all out to rush back. Because this is his only home. Even if he risks his life, he will protect it. Liang Crossing looked out the window with a firmness that is difficult to describe in words. It was as if he could see through the blazing flames outside the window and see Su Lin. And Su Lin was naturally, just as Liang Crossing thought. He was rushing back at full speed. At the same time, he was getting more and more irritable. Because the system kept giving reminders over and over again. Ding. Please pay attention. The pea shooter was burned by the flames and lost 60% of its health. Ding. Please pay attention. A pea shooter was burned to death. Ding. Please pay attention. A sunflower was burned to death. One after another, the reminders over and over again have been telling Su Lin the cruel truth. All the plants he worked so hard to grow are gone. Ding. Please pay attention. All the plants are burned. The flames are continuing to burn the land. Ding. Please pay attention. The house is baked by high temperature and the defense value is reduced by 10 points. Ding. Please pay attention. The house is burned by flames and the defense value is reduced by 20 points. Damn it. Chen Milin. Yan Wu. I'm not done with you this time. Chapter 63 Synthetic Cherry Bomb. Su Lin stared fiercely at the front. His right hand was bleeding from twisting the motorcycle handlebars. But even so, Su Lin continued to twist it. He just hoped to go faster and faster. After a long journey, Su Lin finally saw a fire right in front of him. His own small farm was right in front of him. Thinking of this, Su Lin couldn't help but roared, "Chen Milin, Yan Wu, I'm coming." Perhaps the fire was too raging. Yan Wu didn't notice Su Lin coming from behind. He didn't notice it until Su Lin rode a motorcycle and suddenly passed a slope and fell from the sky. With a swish, he slid down because the speed was too fast. In addition, the slope was a bit steep. Although it was very handsome to jump up on a motorcycle and fall from the sky, he couldn't help but fall flat on his face when he landed. This fall, Su Lin almost fell into the fire. Fortunately, he landed on his face and braked hard. Otherwise, he would have plunged into the fire. What a crazy guy. Yan Wu rolled his eyes. Just now when the motorcycle flew into the sky, the earth-shaking roar, he thought he was a hero. Unexpectedly, he came out like a dog eating shit. Su Lin endured the pain and stood up with difficulty. He looked at Yan Wu and said viciously, "What a pair of dogs and bitches. You are playing like this while I'm not here, right? Ha. Ha." Yan Wu frowned. "Excuse me, who are you?" "Me." Su Lin was stunned for a moment, then reacted and quickly wiped the dirt off his face. "I'm your father, silly." "Oh, it's Su Lin, haha." Yan Wu sneered and immediately pulled Chen Milin from behind and hugged her. "I heard from my woman that you have countless supplies here and I haven't settled the score with you for bullying my woman last time." "Oh, bully? Your woman?" "Haha." Su Lin sneered and planted frozen lettuce directly. "This is the only plant that can be planted at this time. Any plant planted will be burned to ashes by the raging fire. But frozen lettuce is different. Although it will be burned to ashes, it will not be like other plants, which will only leave ashes after being burned by the flames. Instead, it will leave pools of ice water. It was difficult to extinguish those flames. One plant is not enough." Su Lin waved his hand directly. On all the land, all the frozen lettuce was planted. When the ice water met the blazing flames, slurp, slurp, slurp. Finally, streams of steam came towards them. The fire was finally put out. The cabin was finally able to calm down for a while. The burning flames did not burn the cabin, but left layers of black charcoal outside. Several wooden boards fell from the roof. The glass windows were even blasted open. Everyone outside was stunned. How was the flame put out? It felt like it was put out suddenly. When and how did Su Lin put out the fire? "It's done." Su Lin breathed a sigh of relief. When the fire was put out, Su Lin finally breathed a sigh of relief when he saw that the cabin was safe for the time being. Without the obstruction of the flames, Su Lin was finally able to see the people in the house through the small window. Liang Crossing and the others were standing by the window, staring at Su Lin blankly. The excitement in his eyes was clear without words. Su Lin nodded, signaling them not to worry. If there was a reason, it was Su Lin. He was here. "Hey, Yan Wu, tell me, how are we going to settle this?" Su Lin turned and looked at Yan Wu. At the same time, he glared at the culprit next to Yan Wu, Chen Milin. Chen Milin was frightened by Su Lin's glare. She subconsciously turned sideways and came behind Yan Wu, trying to seek his protection. Yan Wu obviously didn't notice this. He was angry. Settle accounts? Who the hell is Su Lin to dare to talk to him like that? Question mark? "Su Lin, you don't have eyes, do you? You still can't recognize the reality?" "Reality?" Had her after a sneer. Su Lin secretly completed the fusion in the space pocket. The target of the fusion is the cherry bomb. 1 cherry plus 1 ton of bomb equals cherry bomb. Cherry. He had already bought them when he was heading to the military base. As for the bombs, there was exactly 1 ton left. Ding, congratulations on collecting all the materials and unlocking the cherry bomb. Ding, congratulations on unlocking the cherry bomb. Gaining 70 experience points and 300 sunlight points. Plant, cherry bomb. Description, a disposable plant that explodes immediately after planting, causing huge fire explosion damage within a 3x3 range centered on itself, and will remove the frozen state of zombies. Sunlight. 150 damage. 1800 attack range. 3x3 cooling time. 35 seconds. Quality blue, forming a band as the dream of the Cherry Bomb brothers. We really want to know the rhythm of each explosion. We subvert the music, detonate the fans, make a sensation on the stage, and of course, destroy the zombies. By the way, hey, don't forget to buy next year's record, a disposable plant. Its name is enough to indicate its plant nature. Bombs are just thrown out, and with a bang, they explode directly. Plus its wide attack range. Sometimes, cherry bomb is a life-saving plant. And because of the fusion of a new plant, the experience points gained are upgraded again. This may also be a good sign. System, Plants vs. Zombies level, Farm LV16, Plants, Sunshine points. 6497, Planting land. 40 defense value. 100 over 300, experience value. 20 over 1500, ability, extraction, gold coin upgrade, unlocked plants, sunflower, pea shooter, vertical fruit, potato mine, cabbage shooter, frozen lettuce, torch stump, charm mushroom, kiwi, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, energy flower, fire dragon grass, cherry bomb, steel ground spike unlocked. Blueprint, electric green tea, gold coins. 30 advanced plants, pea shooter, level 3, cabbage shooter, level 3, sunflower, level 2, kiwi, level 2, nuts, level 3, frozen lettuce, level 3, vegetable question, level 2. Potato mine, level 3, fire dragon grass, level 3, brilliant light, LV2, Yanwu. Su Lin glanced down at Yanwu. You are the one who really doesn't know what's good for you, right? If you were still in your Vulcan fortress, you would still have some ability to talk, but now that you are in my territory, who gave you the courage to speak like this to my face? Chapter 64, Use of Golden Beans. And what else? Su Lin glanced at Chen Milin. Your woman. Do you know who your woman came with the last time she came here? A man named Zhang Xianming. He's old enough to be your father. Now that you've got it, you should understand, right? By the way, let me say one more thing. Chen Milin is my classmate, and she's also having an affair with my classmate, and that classmate happens to be Zhang Xianming's son. TSK, father and son are on the same side. I didn't expect you'd want such a bus. Hard enough. Su Lin. Before Yanwu could say anything, Chen Milin on the side couldn't sit still. You Chen Milin gritted her teeth, and after a while, she uttered a few words. You slandered me. As soon as the words fell, Chen Milin was like a deflated balloon, feeling aggrieved and angry at the same time. Brother leader. Su Lin, he slandered me, woo woo woo. As the saying goes, acting like a spoiled child is a woman's strongest weapon. Originally, what Su Lin said just now made Yanwu's face black, especially in front of so many believers behind him. Su Lin said this. It made Yanwu lose face. But Chen Milin came here like this. Yanwu forgot everything and just wanted to coax the girl in front of him. Milin, it's okay, I believe you. This Su Lin, I'm afraid he is jealous of me being with you, so he slandered you like this. Don't worry, I'm here. I will definitely make Su Lin pay the price. Wow, thank you, brother leader. I knew that brother leader treats me the best. Chen Milin pretended to cry. She really shed crocodile tears. Sure enough, women are made of water, and just when this love drama in front of him began, Su Lin had been prepared for Chen Milin's shamelessness. He just wanted to divert Yanwu's attention so that he could plant plants. When Yanwu coaxed Chen Milin and stared at Su Lin aggressively, he was not only shocked, even Chen Milin and the believers behind her were shocked, because behind Su Lin stood countless plants. Su Lin, you, ha ha ha. Yanwu suddenly laughed arrogantly. Great, I was shocked when I learned that there were other people with special powers this morning. I didn't expect that you really have one. So many plants appeared in the blink of an eye. You are really worthy of it. Oh. Su Lin raised his eyebrows. He was somewhat interested in the other people with special powers mentioned by Yanwu. Humph, no more nonsense. Go to hell. After saying that, Yanwu raised his hand directly. Flames began to gather in his palm. Do you know how I defeated your beloved plants just now? I have seen through the fighting methods of these plants of yours. They have a certain attack range. As long as I walk into this attack range, they would attack. But I'm sorry, my special power is fire, which is specifically used to restrain your plants. Ha ha ha. Su Lin, you are unlucky to meet them. After saying that, Yan Wu shook his hands and fired the flame directly, and Su Lin just sneered. It is true that flames are naturally restrained by plants. A ball of fire passes by, any plant will be burned. But sorry, at this time, Su Lin is here. Not only can he grow plants, but he can also spend gold coins to directly buy gold beans and release the plant's ultimate move. Then come on, Yan Wu, I will show you that, although a spark can start a prairie fire, the flame will eventually go out, and only plants can exist forever. It is daytime now. Plants in the daytime are different from those at night. In other words, the plants on the farm are two different situations when facing zombies and when not facing zombies. Daytime. Originally, during the daytime, the attack range of plants is no longer limited to a certain area. Then they can attack foreign enemies in multiple areas. Not to mention the gold beans, that are equivalent to energy beans. Gold beans can only be purchased with gold coins. 100 gold coins can buy 1 gold bean. To put it simply, it allows plants to release powerful moves in broad daylight. This is also Su Lin's confidence. He has exchanged a certain number of sunlight points for gold coins. Then he directly bought 3 gold beans. Gold beans can only be used 3 times a day. It still has to be used at critical moments. Just as the fireball was about to hit, the frozen lettuce planted by Su Lin in the first row also took action. From its small mouth, a small blue ice ball was ejected, with a ding sound. When the small ice ball collided with the fireball, it only took a moment. The small ice ball was melted. But Su Lin planted all the frozen lettuces in the first row. The remaining 4 frozen lettuces were fired continuously, although the small ice ball was finally melted. But the fireball disappeared out of thin air. Huh. Yan Wu frowned. What happened just now? What are those white and blue plants behind Su Lin? They look a bit like lettuce, but they don't seem to be. The things that spewed out of their mouths actually offset his flames, and Yan Wu shuddered. For some reason, he felt a little cold. It shouldn't be like this. As a fire-type psychic, how could he feel cold? Oh, but this time it was Su Lin's turn to be curious. I didn't expect you wouldn't be frozen, but it's not surprising. After all, you play with fire. Huh. Yan Wu frowned. When he followed Su Lin's line of sight and looked around him, he finally understood what he meant, because there were ice sculptures all around him. Whether it was Chen Milin or his believers, they were all frozen by ice and turned into big ice sculptures. What's going on? Yan Wu looked at Chen Milin's Iceman in front of him anxiously. It's what you saw. You would have become a big ice sculpture. Maybe you are a fire-type psychic and can't be frozen. Wow. Look, there is frost on your hands again, but it melted again. This should be more uncomfortable, right? Su Lin was right. Yan Wu shook his body and felt very uncomfortable. It was like sweating profusely while using the air conditioner. One foot was in the ice and snow, and the other foot was in the volcanic purgatory. Ice and fire. What the hell is going on? Su Lin sneered. What else could it be? Isn't it the ultimate move of frozen lettuce? Question mark? Chapter 65. The Ice and Snow released by Su Lin. What Su Lin himself did not expect was that the ultimate move of the frozen lettuce had also changed. However, this was the first time that Su Lin used the golden beans. The first time that he used the ultimate move during the day. At the moment, when he used the golden beans on the frozen lettuce, he had an inexplicable feeling. It was a feeling that was more in line with the farm plants behind him and more seamless. Especially with the frozen lettuce. In his feeling, these frozen lettuces were not planted in the soil. Instead, they were truly planted in his body. It was like another extension of his life. In this way, the attack of the frozen lettuce, or the ultimate move, seemed to be used by Su Lin himself, and could control it. The area was within sight. Yes, it was within sight. As long as Su Lin could see the place, it could be directly frozen. And at the moment, when the golden beans were used and disappeared, Su Lin also subconsciously raised his hand, and with a clatter, he covered the area he selected with layers of ice. Originally, Su Lin only wanted to freeze Yan Wu, who was closest to him. But he didn't expect that he could freeze everyone in front of him. 22 seconds. A full 22 seconds. Everyone had to spend time in the ice sculpture. Don't think that Yan Wu seemed to be safe and sound at this time. But such a double world of ice and fire will only make him more uncomfortable. Damn. It's so uncomfortable. Su Lin, what did you do? Yan Wu twisted his body in pain. This feeling was too uncomfortable. He wanted to remove all his flames in exchange for freezing his whole body. It's better than this. You have the power of fire, so others can't have other abilities? Oh, by the way, I'm afraid you think your power of fire is very powerful, right? Or, only you have the power of fire? Haha, Su Lin sneered. What do you mean? Nothing. I just want you to know that there are always people who are better than you. I can spare your life, even though I hate you, but your Vulcan fortress does take in some displaced people. But there is a condition: if you dare to come and disturb me again. Heh. Oh, by the way, I will kill your woman, Su Lin said with narrowed eyes. Maybe it was because he killed 3 gangsters at the clinic before. As for killing, Su Lin no longer had the same resistance as before. If it weren't for the fact that this Vulcan fortress could help treat more poor people to some extent, Yan Wu would have become a dead soul under Su Lin's gun. Why are you so arrogant? Yan Wu said viciously. With sharp eyes, he glared at Su Lin. Isn't it just frozen into ice? Can it kill people? Besides, Yan Wu gritted his teeth. He felt it himself. The bone-chilling coldness on his body had gradually disappeared. Although he didn't know how Su Lin did it, he made everyone freeze into ice sculptures. But obviously, it won't last too long. Sure enough, the next moment, there were a few crackling sounds. The ice broke apart. 22 seconds were up. Everyone who had just escaped from the ice sculpture couldn't stop shivering. Ah, toot toot toot. They were like drowned rats, stretching out their hands and hugging their shoulders tightly. It seemed that only in this way could they get more warmth. Only in this way could they get rid of the cold and ruthless cold just now. Baby, are you okay? Yan Wu looked at Chen Milin with a distressed face. Chen Milin, who had just been dragged out of the ice sculpture, had taken off her macup and looked like an ugly monster. But Yan Wu didn't mind at all. After all, in addition to her moving beauty, Chen Milin also had a proud figure. This Yan Wu was the real old pervert. Looking at Chen Milin, who was shivering and couldn't say a word for a long time, Yan Wu felt so distressed. He glared at Su Lin viciously. Su Lin, look, all your ice cubes are gone. Tell me, what else do you have to be arrogant about? Arrogant? I have plenty of it. After saying that, Su Lin raised his pistol and pointed it at Chen Milin. I'm sorry, old classmate, you have to die here. You come to cause trouble again and again. Who do you really think you are? When Yan Wu saw Su Lin raising his pistol, he was stunned. But he also reacted. It must be a toy pistol. It's impossible for Su Lin to own a real gun. Heh, Su Lin, who are you trying to fool with a broken toy pistol? Fooling? I'm trying to fool you. As soon as the voice fell, bang, Su Lin fired without any nonsense. The bullet whizzed and hit Chen Milin's right knee. Ah! With a scream, Chen Milin sat on the ground in pain, twitching and struggling. Yan Wu, save me. Save me, wow. It's a real gun. Run away. The believers who were still trembling behind him all ran away after seeing that the gun in Su Lin's hand was indeed real. That's a gun. Why are you still standing there? Run away. Are you going to die? Question mark? Don't run. Stop right there. Damn it. I'm the leader. I order you all to come back. If you don't come back, I will expel all of you from the Vulcan fortress. Yan Wu looked at the believers fleeing back and kept cursing. He didn't expect that the believers he worked so hard to support would treat him like this at this time. Question mark? Indeed, Yan Wu's ability to control fire is still like a god in the hearts of these believers. With the strength, they can also ensure that they are well fed and warmly dressed. But under the threat of life, all these were thrown behind the believers' minds. What's more, although Yan Wu is also scary enough, he would also use fire to teach those who disobeyed a lesson. But Yan Wu's fire had never burned anyone to death. But what about Su Lin? The pistol in his hand could kill people. He could already shoot at Chen Milan without mercy. Is there anything else he couldn't do? Question mark. Oh. These are your believers? Damn it. Yan Wu turned and looked at Su Lin. Although he was also afraid of Su Lin's pistol, but he had enough confidence to wrap himself in flames and burn the bullets before Su Lin shot. Su Lin, don't be so arrogant. It's just a pistol with at most 6 bullets. Those stupid bastards can take you down by sacrificing 5 people. But they ran away. Those stupid bastards. I've kept them for so long. Without me, they would have been wandering ghosts. Yang Wu, you seem to have misunderstood. Su Lin sneered and shot again. Bang, 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 bang. Dozens of shots were fired in succession. Moreover, although Su Lin was shooting towards Yan Wu, he deliberately missed the target and shot all the shots around them. Chapter 66. Roar of the Dragon. My pistol has unlimited bullets. So no matter how many of you come, I won't mind. No matter how fast it is, it's faster than my bullets. Su Lin, who was looking down from above, had a confident look on his face. Yang Wu, who formed a sharp contrast with Su Lin, was panicked. He really didn't expect the situation to develop into this. A pistol with unlimited bullets? Question mark. Could this be Su Lin's superpower? Question mark. But what about the plants on the farm? What about the big ice sculpture just now? Question mark. What exactly is Su Lin's ability? Question mark. Su Lin, what do you want to do? Psycho. Su Lin rolled his eyes. You came from this place, all the people are yours, you set the fire to. Did I provoke you? Why are you asking me what I want now? Why are you trying to protect my homeland? You stupid idiot. Su Lin was speechless. It was like he was looking for trouble. It was someone else who came to him to cause trouble. What? The invader blamed the invaded in turn, blaming the invaded for being too powerful, which made him very embarrassed. How could such a thing happen in the world? Su Lin's repeated questions made Yan Wu speechless. He was stunned and didn't know what to say for a while. He opened his mouth and wanted to refute, but it seemed that he really didn't have the right. So, leader? Vulcan Fortress? Yang Wu, you take yourself too seriously. Su Lin, go to hell. Yan Wu roared in anger. Pa. Flames bloomed around his body. The blazing flames were like his wings, or possessed. But Yan Wu was sweating profusely at this time. His body couldn't stop shrinking and twitching. It seemed that he was very afraid of these flames. It was really funny that the flame power user was afraid of flames. Su Lin on the side said slowly, Yang Wu, you don't really think that you are the only one who can release the flame, right? Su Lin has many ways to destroy the enemy in front of him, but what he wants more is to completely suppress Yan Wu's arrogance. He threw the golden beans on the fire dragon grass in the 7th row. Don't think you are the only one who can use fire. Among Su Lin's plants, there are also plants that can use flames. A surge of flame energy instantly swept through Su Lin's body. This energy seemed to contain an extremely terrifying power to destroy the world. Driven by this energy, Su Lin jumped up even more. His open arms were like dragon wings, and his body was more like a dragon body. The flames exploded in an instant. The raging flames in the air were like the sun, making people unable to take their eyes away. Compared with the flames on Yan Wu's body, Yan Wu's, I'm afraid it's not a small match. As if he was accumulating power, the flames on Su Lin's body kept burning. It seemed that even the air was distorted. I could faintly hear the roar of a dragon. Yang Wu, don't die. After saying that, Su Lin roared like a dragon's roar. Then, the flames on Su Lin's body suddenly turned into a giant dragon. The giant dragon of flame swooped towards Yan Wu. What about Yan Wu? He was completely confused. If it was the situation at the beginning, he could still barely accept it. Even if Su Lin used any other special abilities at this time, he would be surprised at most. But, Su Lin used the flame ability that Yan Wu was most proud of, and it was much stronger than Yan Wu's own flame ability. Why? Su Lin. Yan Wu also fired all the flames outside his body, but in comparison, it was like a meteorite and a small fireball. Why? Yan Wu roared unwillingly. Why can you also use flames? Why? Because I'm omnipotent. After releasing the giant dragon of flame, Su Lin also slowly fell to the ground. Boom. There was an explosion. Flames shot up into the sky. The violent shockwave of the explosion almost blew Su Lin away. The most unlucky ones should be the 8th row, which is the frozen lettuce at the front. They were affected by the residual power of the flame explosion, and 3 frozen lettuces were directly melted. When the smoke cleared, Su Lin also walked forward with a swagger. In the end, he still kept a trick. If Yan Wu was killed directly, those people in the Vulcan fortress would be too pitiful. Not to mention, Su Lin wanted to keep Yan Wu alive and ask the so-called other superpowers what was going on. When Su Lin walked up to Yan Wu, he felt a little sorry for Yan Wu. Wouldn't it be better to kill him? Just like that? His clothes were torn, and his whole body was burnt. Like a poor creature. The whole person fell into a coma. Chen Milin on the other side was not in a good condition either. Although she happened to be behind Yan Wu and was not burned by the flames, her whole body was also steamed by the heat wave. His body was full of blisters. He was in a state of confusion. Su Lin shrugged, squatted down, and directly pulled up Yan Wu. After confirming that he was still breathing, he slapped him. There was a bang. Then another slap. Pa. 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 Several slaps were given. Finally, Yan Wu, who was in a coma, was awakened. It was quite stimulating. To wake someone up, he didn't shake him gently. Instead, he slapped him. Hey, wake up. I'll let you go at the end. You must not be dead yet. Yan Wu's mouth twitched. He opened his mouth with difficulty and said, "Who are you?" "Your father." Su Lin. My whole body hurts. Kill me. Please. At this time, Yan Wu, where is the dignity and majesty of the leader of the Vulcan fortress? He is just a poor dog. It's okay. It's better to keep you and the Vulcan fortress. After all, although you are cheap, you can provide food, and your flames can eliminate the effects of radiation on food. One more thing. Su Lin grabbed Yan Wu's collar and said, "Didn't you just say that there are other superpowers? What's the situation?" Yan Wu swallowed his saliva. Since Su Lin would not kill him, his heart was relieved. At this time, the thing he regretted most was naturally listening to Chen Milin's words and coming to find fault with Su Lin. I just heard that in the next city, Chaoshu City, a superpower appeared. It seems that he is a superpower who uses lightning. Oh. Su Lin raised his eyebrows. This information is really timely for him. There is still a plant that has not been successfully fused. Electric green tea. There is a lightning in its fusion material. You can't just wait for a thunderstorm to collect lightning one day, not to mention how to collect lightning in the sky. Chapter 67 Killing the Unlucky Star, Chen Milin. There just happened to be a person with the ability to use lightning. Wouldn't that be a timely help? Of course. Now the sky is gradually getting dark. Su Lin will naturally not go there now. Then tomorrow. Not bad. Su Lin nodded. Suddenly, he felt that Yan Wu in front of him was a little cute. He was rushing to deliver timely information. Then can I leave? Yan Wu said tremblingly. He didn't dare to look Su Lin in the eye. Of course. By the way, don't you plan to take your precious woman with you? No, no, no. Yan Wu shook his head repeatedly. She is a jinx. It was she who instigated me, so I came to disturb you without knowing what's good for me. This slut, you can do whatever you want with her. Ha ha ha. Yan Wu, you are really a talent. Su Lin shook his head. This Yan Wu is really a bully. He was arrogant just now, but now he is like a lackey who abandoned his wife and children. Go away, you should know it too. Speaking of this, Su Lin glared at Yan Wu with a murderous look. If you dare to come over again, it won't be so easy next time. Your head. Su Lin knocked on Yan Wu's head. You have to give it up here. Yes, yes, yes. I won't dare to come again. Get out now. Get out now. After saying that, Yan Wu really rolled away. Yes. He rolled away. I don't know if it was because of his injury, but he was really scared. Just like a cylinder, he rolled out of Su Lin's sight. Su Lin grinned. His eyes were full of disdain for Yan Wu. Then he looked at Chen Milin, who was already trembling with fear. Su Lin. Chen Milin, who knew that the situation was over, trembled. She didn't even dare to look Su Lin in the eye. Chen Milin, we are classmates after all, right? Yes, yes. Hearing the word classmate, Chen Milin's eyes flashed with light. Maybe she still has a chance to survive? Question mark. Su Lin, we are classmates. Please let me go, I promise. I promise I will never appear in front of you again. If you want me, I can give it to you now. Give it to you, everything. In the face of death threats, everything is nothing. Only survival is the kingly way. Chen Milin is in this state of mind at this time. As long as she can survive, she can even eat shit. Su Lin slapped Chen Milin's hand outstretched to him expressionlessly. First, I'm not interested in you. Second, you should take a piss and look at yourself to see what kind of play you are now. You can still be a bit beautiful. Third, this time. Su Lin slowly took out a pistol and pointed it at Chen Milin. I will never let you go this time. There are my sister, my friends, and my recruited partners in the room. If I come back a little later today, they will all be buried in the sea of fire. No. Su Lin. Bang. Su Lin did not give Chen Milin a chance to quibble. He shot her in the head directly. Chen Milin was stunned for a moment. She reached out her hand and touched the small hole on her forehead that was bleeding. She never thought that during college, the somewhat dull, timid, and cowardly Su Lin would actually shoot. How could it be? Well, this is a relief. What's the good of living in such a world? Su Lin, you might want to commit suicide, right? On her deathbed, countless thoughts emerged in Chen Milin's mind. But when she saw Su Lin's unwavering eyes, she finally understood. Su Lin did not want to commit suicide. On the contrary, he decided to survive. In such a doomsday, survive hardship and hardship. With a plop, Chen Milin fell to the ground. Su Lin looked at his former classmate expressionlessly. He bent down and carried the gradually cold body on his waist. He found a bush and threw it over. He didn't want Chen Milin's body to taint the scenery at his doorstep. Bury? There were already many bodies outside, exposed in the wilderness. Who has the energy and time to care about those dead people? After casually disposing of Chen Milin's body, only then did Su Lin breathe a sigh of relief. The foreign enemy was finally driven away. The annoying fly Chen Milin finally came to an end. Everything. Su Lin looked at the small farm in front of him. Although the wooden house was burned and a little shabby and dark, but the green plants outside also gave Su Lin great comfort. This feeling I'm back, Su Lin smiled, looking at the people who pushed open the door of the wooden house. Brother. Su Yue could no longer suppress the excitement in his heart and rushed up directly. Oh, be gentle, it hurts here. Su Lin looked at Su Yue, who rushed into his arms helplessly. His shot arm still hurts slightly. Brother, what's wrong with you? Su Yue looked at the bandage on Su Lin's arm anxiously. It's okay, I got hurt outside, and I've bandaged it, so it took me a little time. I'm really sorry for making you so worried. Su Lin scratched his head, apologetically. It's okay. Director Liu waved his hand. I'm glad that you're okay. By the way, the magic possessed by these plants is really amazing. Yes, yes. Zhang Jiajia said with lingering fear. The magic of freezing the world, and the magic of fire, not to mention the giant fire dragon. It's really amazing. After knowing Yan Wu for a few days, this is the first time he has seen it. Yang Wu, who has the power of fire, and is so high and mighty, fled in such a miserable state. He is simply a bully who only bullies the weak and fears the strong. Haha, that's why I said, as long as you live here, I will definitely keep you safe. Long live Su Lin. Su Yue's classmate Lin Xiaoan cheered. The others immediately started to make a fuss. They shouted. They cheered. They cheered for being rescued from the fire disaster. Su Lin smiled, his eyes sparkling with happiness. Liang, crossing on the side, glanced at Su Lin cautiously. Then she quietly slipped to Su Lin and asked, "What's wrong?" "I just went out." "It's okay, it's okay. You won't tell me either?" Liang, crossing, pursed her lips and lowered her head. "It's okay anyway, at least I'm back alive, right?" In order not to worry his friends, Su Lin also decided to keep his mouth shut. "Okay then." Liang, crossing, had to shrug her shoulders. By the way, she looked at Su Lin and said cautiously, "Just now, when I was dealing with Yan Wu and Chen Milin at the last moment, I sent Su Yue and her classmate Lin Xiaoan away. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 68, Aftermath. Su Lin raised his eyebrows. He immediately looked at Liang Crossing with gratitude. Thank you. No need. After all, the two girls are still young. This kind of thing. Liang Crossing swallowed her saliva. She was actually only a few years older than Su Yue. Seeing Su Lin so cruelly ravaging two people and even shooting one of them, she would naturally feel scared. But Liang Crossing also understood that in this situation, killing, if the other party hinders oneself and makes it impossible for oneself to continue to survive, just kill him. It's better not to let them face this kind of thing too early. Liang Crossing smiled. Looking at Liang Crossing's somewhat far-fetched smile, Su Lin sighed. I'm sorry, I didn't notice you in the room just now, especially you. Aren't you also a girl? Liang Crossing was stunned for a moment. When she heard Su Lin call her a girl, her face suddenly became red. In order not to be noticed by Su Lin, she quickly glanced away. What you said? That's true. Su Lin shrugged. Let's go, eat, I'm starving. After that, Su Lin also began to prepare dinner for tonight. He is really a straight man. He is only responsible for flirting, and running. So exciting. Liang Crossing rolled his eyes and followed him to help prepare dinner. Today was really a close call. The people in the cabin also had their own thoughts. Little girls like Su Yue and Lin Xiaoyan. It's a feeling of rebirth after a disaster. And hope never to encounter such a thing again. Director Liu and Zhang Jiajia understood very clearly. In the future, there will definitely be more. Not to mention letting Yan Wu go. Just the existence of this small farm. I think it's only a matter of time before everyone knows. By then, there will be fewer people coveting the safe place of paradise like the small farm. No. What we have to face next is that there will be more and more bad-minded people with endless desires and actions. As for Director Liu's two students, Zhao Hong and Zhao Wang, when Su Lin appeared, they didn't have much relaxed expression on their faces. Some were just worried. After all, they were cursing just now, wanting to betray Zhang Jiajia in exchange for Yan Wu's forgiveness. Even, for a moment, the two wanted to tie Zhang Jiajia up and send him out as a letter of surrender. It was under such a bad intention. When they saw Su Lin coming back to save the situation, they couldn't mention how embarrassed they were. For Liang Crossing, she didn't know what she was thinking. On the one hand, she hoped that Su Lin could treat more people. On the other hand, she also knew that how to screen these people was a very difficult task. After preparing dinner, Su Lin stretched his body. Looking at the group of thoughtful companions in front of him, he couldn't help feeling a little strange. He was going through life and death outside, and they were eating and living well here. What was there to be sad about? After shrugging, he also said, everyone, let's eat. You don't have to worry too much. I usually go out during the day. Before I go out, I will be fully prepared. And if anything happens here, I will know it first and rush back. Come on, eat. Su Lin sat down. The other people also looked frightened and picked up their bowls and chopsticks. Perhaps it was because they were grateful after surviving a disaster. Several people's appetites were much larger than before. However, Zhao Hong and Zhao Wang seemed to be worried. Su Lin also noticed that they were different. But he didn't mention it for the time being. After eating, everyone went about their own business. Su Lin walked outside the door and lit up the nicotine that Zhang Jiajia had given him before. Su Lin. Zhang Jiajia also came out. Come, have a cigarette. Thank you. What are you thanking me for? You gave me this cigarette. What's wrong? You look so worried. Well, I'm sorry. Could it be that Yan Wu came here because of me? Ha ha ha. Su Lin laughed out loud after hearing this. Zhang Jiajia, you don't think too highly of yourself. Yan Wu certainly didn't come for you. Chen Milin brought him here. They thought I had a lot of supplies and wanted to take them for themselves. Oh. Hearing the explanation from the person involved, Zhang Jiajia's heart, which had been hanging in the air, finally relaxed. You won't feel guilty because you think it's your fault, right? Yeah. Zhang Jiaji aside. Don't think too much. Yanwu will never dare to come again. I'll let him go, because I can save more people, by keeping the Vulcan Fortress. Although Yanwu is not a good person, the Vulcan Fortress is also really using its own way to save people. That's right. Although the means are extremely brainless. Zhang Jiajia rolled his eyes. After the big stone in his heart fell to the ground smoothly, Zhang Jiajia also felt extremely relieved. The look he gave Su Lin was full of gratitude. He didn't know how to repay this kindness. He had already made up his mind in his heart that, if one day he had to repay Su Lin with his own life, he would give his life to him without saying a word. So, this is why I didn't kill Yanwu. If you kill him, what about the Vulcan Fortress? What about the people he took in? If they all come to me for refuge, I will be in trouble. Not to mention that, if I keep the Vulcan Fortress, I can treat and take in more people, right? Hahaha, you are worthy of it. Zhang Jiajia smiled. His eyes were full of admiration for Su Lin. It's okay, but I think there will be another group of visitors in the next 2 days. Su Lin shrugged. The so-called visitor is Zhang Xianming. He has found a good backer. Thinking of winning over the army. Huh. Zhang Jiajia was stunned. It's okay, it should be the day after tomorrow. I will wait for them here. Zhang Jiajia swallowed his saliva. Su Lin, let me say that you are needed here after all. If there is anything I can help with, you must tell me, no matter how hard it takes. Hahaha, okay, no problem. Night fell. Su Lin, who was sitting on the sofa in the living room, also waited for the destined knock on the door. Dong dong dong. Su Lin stretched and stood up. He walked towards the door. If, in the past, hearing this knock on the door, it was fear, panic, and hesitation about the future. Chapter 69 Level 8 Zombies. What about now? Now Su Lin just wants to face more zombies and stronger enemies. Defeat them all. Improve his own strength. So that he can continue to survive. System. Plants vs. Zombies level. Farm LV16. Plants. Sunshine points. 7497. Planting land. 40 defense value. 100 over 300. Experience value. 20 over 1500. Ability. Extraction. Gold coin upgrade. Already unlocked plants. Sunflower. Pea shooter. Vertical fruit. Potato bud. Cabbage shooter. Frozen lettuce. Torch stump. Charm mushroom. Kiwi. Boomerang shooter. Vegetable question. Energy flower. Fire dragon grass. Cherry bomb. Steel ground spike unlocked. Blueprint. Electric green tea. Gold coins. 30 plant advancement. Pea shooter. Level 3. Cabbage shooter. Level 3. Sunflower. Level 2. Kiwi. Level 2. Nuts. Level 3. Frozen lettuce. Level 3. Vegetable question. Level 2. Potato mine. Level 3. Fire dragon grass. Level 3. Brilliant light. LV2. Like the golden bean. Su Lin really couldn't think of it. After using the gold bean, the ultimate move will be displayed on oneself. It is more shocking and more devastating than the ultimate move displayed by the energy bean. Ding, the 8th level. Zombies are coming. Please be prepared. The number of zombies *20. Hearing that there are only 20 zombies, Su Lin couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. So few? I'm afraid it's not enough to fill the gaps between my teeth. And it's not the zero clearing mode. Question mark? Ding, please pay attention. The pirates are starting to board the ship. Ding, please pay attention, because the pirate zombies have appeared. They have temporarily stolen the land. Ding, please pay attention. In the A and B areas, the land from the 8th to the 6th row has been stolen. I'm going to circle you. You cross. Su Lin cursed. It's true that as the levels increase, the difficulty is getting higher and higher. The land in the outermost areas of the A and B areas has been stolen. In other words, the land in the 8th, 7th, and 6th rows of the A and B areas is gone. In the A and B areas, the only places that can be planted are the 1st to 5th rows. If zombies land and appear in the 5th row, it means that the front lines that can be used to plant plants in the A and B areas to fight against them have been compressed a lot. It's just bad luck knocking on the door, very unlucky. But fortunately, it's not the zero clearing mode. The plants that Su Lin just planted can still be used. But looking at the empty space outside the window, you should have said it earlier. I thought it was a zero clearing mode, and there were no plants planted. After rolling his eyes, Su Lin quickly planted plants. This time there is no need to plant sunflowers. Sunshine points, enough. The first row of C, D, and E, the 3 areas, are all planted with pea shooters. And then the second row is arranged with torch stumps. This kind of flame pea attack formation is Su Lin's favorite combination. It can often be used in places with long fronts in a single area. And like the A and B areas at this time, there are no back 3 rows of fronts. Once zombies appear in areas A and B, they must be in the 5th row. The front line is suppressed. The combination of pea shooters plus flame crowns cannot exert their full power. At this time, in order to deal with this situation, Su Lin directly planted cabbage shooters in the first row of areas A and B and the second row of area A. Boomerang shooters were planted. Finally, in the second row of area B, fire dragon grass was planted. In this way, after all, the attack range of fire dragon grass is 3x3. The fire dragon grass in area B can take into account areas A and C. The second row can also attack zombies in the 3rd, 4th and 5th rows. The killer against areas A and B is the nuts in the 5th row. No matter what kind of zombie you are, no matter where you come from, you have to stay in front of nuts. Then it is the arrangement of the 4th row. That is the matter of melee plants. Vegetable questions. Kiwis are planted in the 3rd row. Then Su Lin looked at the C, D, and E areas. The 1st and 2nd rows already had a combination of pea shooters and flame tree crowns. The other ground could be relaxed. Su Lin planted nuts directly on the 6th row. On the 5th row, he planted frozen lettuce. Such a formation was more than enough to deal with any zombies. And in the 7th row, Su Lin was waiting for some new zombies. Those pieces of land that were stolen by the pirates had all turned grey. There was no way to plant. It seemed that zombies could not appear on those grey lands. Ding, please pay attention. A new type of zombie appeared. Zipline zombies. Roller zombies. Ding, please pay attention. The zombies in the 8th level are all LV2. A large wave of zombies is coming. Be careful of your head. It will be eaten soon. Zombies appeared. Ordinary zombies, roadblock zombies, and iron zombies. These 3 zombies can be said to be old friends. In each level, they must be the first to appear. As for Su Lin, after hearing the appearance of the roller zombie, he planted steel ground spikes in the 8th row of the C, D, and E areas without hesitation. This was completely to deal with the roller zombie. The zipline zombie is okay. It is the purest pirate. It is the kind of zombie that pulls the zipline and falls from the sky. And it jumps and flies directly to the front row. It seems that in this level, the land stolen from areas A and B was stolen by the zipline zombie. After stealing these lands, the zipline zombie can jump directly to the 5th row. But Su Lin has already made sufficient preparations. Not afraid at all. What you need to pay attention to is the roller zombie. It can be said to be the most annoying zombie. The roller zombie appears when the zombie pushes the barrel. To deal with it, you can choose pitcher type and penetrating type plants, because it can attack the zombie pushing the roller behind. After all, the barrel can crush any plant. Just crush it. But the barrel will be pierced by sharp plants, that is, steel spikes. When the zombie dies, the barrel will stop rolling. The barrel will be regarded as an obstacle to attract firepower, and it will automatically break after a period of time, releasing a little ghost zombie in the upper and lower rows. The barrel is already very annoying. Even when facing defensive plants like the upper vertical fruit, it can be directly crushed. When the barrel is broken, 2 little ghost zombies will even jump out of the barrel. This is even more annoying. Chapter 70. Barrel Zombie, Zipline Zombie. So in order to deal with the roller zombie, Su Lin simply planted steel ground spikes to deal with it. The extremely hard steel ground spikes can withstand 30 wooden barrels before sacrificing heroically. Not to mention that as long as there are steel ground spikes, any zombie passing by will be stabbed and scream. But because of face, they dare not show it. They can only cry silently, grit their teeth, and pass through the stabbing steel ground spikes. Just like the iron bucket zombie that appeared in the 8th row of area C at this time. although it is already LV2 at this time. As the level increases, the basic attributes of the zombie will also increase. Like before, a combination of a pea shooter plus torch crown and frozen lettuce. Su Lin is not worried at all. At most, let the iron bucket zombie walk to the 6th row area. It will definitely die. But now at LV2, after the attack and defense attributes have been greatly improved, it really needs to be dealt with seriously to avoid danger. But seriously deal with it. Su Lin yawned. With enough sunlight points, he could defeat the zombies in front of him with one eye closed. Poor barrel zombie. I thought I had finally upgraded and could come for revenge. But, not to mention, that when I first appeared, Flame Pea and Ice Ball treated me well. When its stinky feet stepped on the ground, the piercing pain swept through its body. As a zombie, it should not have any pain. But it felt unstoppable pain. If it was just an ordinary spike, it would be okay. But steel ground spikes. As the name suggests, these spikes are all made of steel. You can't crush them, even if you step on them. You have to bear it. Don't mention how pitfalls it is. It was not easy to get through the 8th row of steel ground spikes with gritted teeth. I thought I could swim freely like a dragon entering the water. But, there was a nut blocking the front. It was difficult to move. In a trance, Su Lin seemed to hear the wailing of the barrel zombie. I've become stronger. Why is this happening? Help. It hurts so much. Finally, under the long-range suppression of the flame peas and frozen lettuce, and the irony of the steel spikes, and the stubborn refusal of nuts, the barrel zombie died in a very aggrieved way. Even though it had been upgraded, and its strength had skyrocketed, it couldn't withstand the plant offensive arranged by Su Lin. In fact, if it was the zero reset mode, the LV2 barrel zombie would naturally be able to show off its power for a while. But what could he do? Su Lin planted all the plants right from the start, and he was well prepared, and he was already invincible. The first round of zombies even brought 2 green energy beans, adding a touch of joy to the victory that had already been in his bag. The zipline zombies followed closely behind. Just as Su Lin thought, the zipline zombies were floating in areas A and B. They were floating in the air, and through the zipline, they came from the sky. But unfortunately, the flying rope zombie in area A was killed by the cabbage shooter while flying in the air. Yes, the cabbage shooter can attack even the zombies flying in the air. This is the advantage of cabbage, which the pea shooter cannot compare with. The flying rope zombie in area B is luckier. After being shot in the head by cabbage, it did not die. Instead, it landed smoothly. Of course, sometimes, dying in the air is also a blessing. When he successfully came to the 5th row of area B, the fire dragon grass had already raised its head and sprayed out flames. Sorry, it raised its head and sprayed out blazing flames. After surviving the sea of fire and preparing to move forward again, on the 5th row, Su Lin had already prepared nuts. The way was blocked by nuts. The flying rope zombie had to stretch out its sharp claws and try to eat the nuts directly. He fought his way out. But Nut in the 5th row of area B didn't feel lonely. After all, his friend K1 was standing behind him. Under Nut's protection, K1 was able to shout oh. He didn't have to worry about being counter-attacked by zombies. After all, in front of him stood a tall sense of security. Sure enough. Seeing this, Su Lin couldn't help but pursed his lips. When he saw the line being stolen and the front line being compressed, he had a premonition that zombies like the zipline zombies would appear, which could jump directly to the 5th row. Fortunately, he was fully prepared. Then there's only the first new type of zombie has appeared. That's all. Su Lin cast his eyes on areas C, D, and E barrel zombies. As the name suggests, they are zombies that push barrels, so they can't appear in areas A and B. Sure enough, from a distance, Su Lin had seen the oncoming black shadow. This figure appeared in area C. He was pushing an iron barrel tirelessly, coming slowly. Go ahead. Steel ground spikes. Let them know how powerful you are. As soon as the voice fell, the iron barrel was pushed up by the zombie. With a boom, the iron barrel broke apart. 2 little ghost zombies jumped out from it. The 2 little ghost zombies went to the upper and lower rows respectively. That is, the location of area B and area D. It was a pity that the land in area B was stolen. It showed a grey color. It seemed that the grey color had a mysterious devouring power. It directly devoured the little ghosts that jumped to area B and the little ghost zombies located in area D. Sorry, it still has to face the firmness of the nut. If it doesn't break the nut, it will be difficult to move forward. The zombie pushing the iron barrel was stunned. The iron barrel it pushed could kill any plant instantly, but it was gone. When he continued to move forward according to inertia, he realized what happened. It was all because of the sharp thorns on the ground. It directly punctured its precious iron barrel. Although it lost a steel spike because of puncturing an iron barrel, the steel spike was still very hard. It seemed that all the sufferings were not a problem. After repelling several zombies, ding, the last wave of zombies is coming. Please be prepared. Su Lin took a deep breath. Although he had made all the preparations, this last wave of zombies was often the most difficult to deal with, especially when Su Lin saw the flag zombies appearing in the C, D, and E areas. The appearance of this kind of zombie means that there are countless zombies behind. Chapter 71, Easy Level. Following the flag zombies, several barrel zombies appeared. They were aggressive. It seemed that they were going to flatten the steel spikes on the ground. With a few boom 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 sounds, the barrels broke. The imp zombies jumped out. The steel spikes also successfully completed their mission and died heroically. Next, it was up to the nuts. The nuts in the 7th row of the C, D, and E areas were still persevering and extremely strong. But after all, they had been fighting on the battlefield for a long time and their bodies were covered with scars. Su Lin narrowed his eyes and waited for more zombies to appear. Now, Su Lin chose to plant a plant again. A brand new plant. He also specially chose the middle position of the 3 areas, the upper area of area D. Boom. With a sound, several zombies were directly blown into ashes. Cherry bomb. It is worthy of being the plant that Su Lin has been looking forward to for a long time. It directly blew the zombies in the 3x3 area on the 8th row of area D into pieces. The cost of 150 sunlight points. It is expensive. After all, it is a one-time plant. Once used, it is gone. There is no follow-up. However, it is precisely because it is a one-time explosive plant that it can often produce incredible effects. Just like now, it directly cleared a large area of zombies. Among Su Lin's existing plants, none has such terrifying power. Even the plants that use energy beams and launch big moves do not have such power. This is the cherry bomb. Nicknamed the small tactical cucumber. The use of the cherry bomb greatly alleviated the pressure brought by the sudden emergence of a large group of zombies. It allowed Su Lin to concentrate on facing the zipline zombies rushing in from areas A and B. It was the last wave. The zipline zombies had already come out in full force. 3 or 4 hooks appeared directly on the edge of the sky in the 2 areas. Many zombies fell from the sky. Su Lin directly used an energy beam on the cabbage shooter. A burst of puff puff puff. 2 unlucky flying rope zombies were still swinging on the edge of the sky, swinging on the swings self-righteously, and 2 big cabbages came towards them. They hit the flying rope zombies directly on the forehead and killed them with a headshot. TSK TSK. Su Lin shook his head. As long as it is not zero mode, Su Lin can use a lot of sunlight points to plant and arrange troops with order. Even if there are more zombies, it is not a problem. This level is extremely easy, especially compared to the 7th level yesterday. Su Lin has rarely encountered such a relaxed level. If possible, let's keep it like this. Never let that kind of pitfall zero mode appear again. In the end, Su Lin only sacrificed a few front row plants. He easily repelled the zombies in the 8th level. Ding, congratulations on clearing the 8th level. Ding, cleared successfully. Got 1000 sunshine points. Ding, got 700 experience points. Ding, got 500 gold coins. Ding, congratulations on upgrading. Su Lin defeated the zombies easily and was overjoyed. He also came to the door and picked up the treasure chest that exploded. There were 2 treasure chests in total. They were opened together. One was meat and the other was drinking water. Both were very important supplies. System: Plants vs. Zombies level: Farm LV17, Plants, Pea Shooter X4, Torchwood Stump X4, Cabbage Shooter X2, Boomerang Shooter X1, Sunshine Points. 4197, Planting Land. 40 Defense Value. 100 over 300. Experience value 18 over 1600. Ability, extraction, gold coin upgrade, unlocked plants, sunflower, pea shooter, vertical fruit, potato bud, cabbage shooter, frozen lettuce, torchwood stump, charm mushroom, kiwi, boomerang shooter, vegetable question, energy flower, fire dragon grass, cherry bomb, steel ground spike unlocked. Blueprint, electric green tea, gold coins. 630, plant advancement, pea shooter, level 3, cabbage shooter, level 3, sunflower, level 2, kiwi, level 2, nuts, level 3, frozen lettuce, level 3. Vegetable question, level 2, potato mine, level 3, fire dragon grass, level 3, brilliant light, LV2, there are still 3 levels to go, that is LV20. By then, brilliant light will reach LV3. The sunlight points obtained, and the number of people that can be accommodated will also be improved. But, Su Lin rolled his eyes. The current situation. The brilliant light at LV2 can accommodate 10 people. Until now, this limit has not been reached. Forget it, it's hard to manage too many people anyway. After complaining, Su Lin also walked back into the house. Liang Crossing waited for him as usual. Why are you the only one? Su Lin asked. You didn't notice it until now? Almost, I focused on the battle. Su Lin shrugged. Too tired today, they all went to rest early. Liang Crossing pouted. Okay. Congratulations, you defeated these zombie monsters again. Of course. By the way, when will this day end? Liang Crossing sighed. After all, every night, we have to face these zombies. It's really a bit scary. If the plant defense line is breached one day, what will be waiting for everyone? Liang Crossing was very worried. After hearing this, Su Lin shrugged helplessly. This is also something we can't do. Let alone these zombie monsters, they will definitely come. To some extent, as long as we defeat these zombie monsters, we will get more benefits. Oh. Liang Crossing raised his eyebrows. But seeing Su Lin's silence, he also knew that this so-called benefit, it must be known only to him. Well, then I wish you a safe night every night. It should be us who should be safe every night. Ha ha ha. Yes, well said. Go to sleep. Liang Crossing yawned and stretched. Inadvertently, he showed off his proud assets. With a whoosh, Su Lin's face turned red. He quickly glanced away and made a mosquito-like humming sound. Yeah. After returning to the room, for some reason, the scene just now was revealed without a doubt. It lingered in his mind and he couldn't get it out of his mind. What's wrong with me? My heart is beating so fast. Forget it. I'm so tired today. Go to sleep. Chapter 72 Current Situation. After a tiring day, Su Lin went to the military base early in the morning and stole 10 tons of bombs. Then he experienced a dangerous escape. He was even shot and fell into a coma. After treatment, he rushed back and encountered the attack of the Vulcan fortress. Then there was the must-see program in the evening. The zombies attacked. Today was a busy day. Su Lin fell asleep immediately. He snored until noon the next day. Comfortable. He stretched his waist. Su Lin felt numb all over. Ha ha ha. If Dr. Li Dan knew that I didn't listen to him after I came back yesterday and kept busy until the evening before resting, I'm afraid he would beat me to death. Su Lin moved the arm that was shot. Except for some numbness and pain, it didn't affect his normal life. He came to the lobby on the first floor. After saying hello to his friends here, Su Lin had a casual breakfast and went directly outside. He was too tired last night. After cleaning up the battlefield, Su Lin went to bed early. The house repair work and sunflower planting had not officially started yet. With a big wave of his hand, Su Lin directly planted nuts on the 8th row of areas A to E. After breaking through the 8th level, Su Lin was able to recapture the land stolen by the pirates, the 8th to 6th rows of areas A and B. After planting the nuts, the next step is extraction. All the nuts are extracted. They become materials that can be used to repair houses and strengthen their defense capabilities. The last time they were repaired, they were still first level nuts. This time, they are third level nuts. When the nut materials were placed in his hands, Su Lin felt a heavy weight in them. If the materials extracted from the first level nuts are more like wood, then the materials from the third level nuts are more like some special metals. All these materials are placed in front of the building in a certain order. These materials seem to be directly absorbed by the building. Without Su Lin doing anything, it automatically became a part of the building. Soon, the places where the original building was burned by the fire were all repaired. And it seemed that it was reinforced a lot. It also felt safer. Then, Su Lin continued to plant. The 8th row, followed by nuts. Then the 7th row was full of frozen lettuce. Finally, the 6th row was full of pea shooters. Perhaps it was because of the raid on the Vulcan fortress. Su Lin had already decided that he could not plant sunflowers on all the land as before. At least, more land should be set aside to plant plants that can protect the home. Finally, he planted sunflowers on all the open space. System, Plants vs. Zombies level, Farm LV17, Plants, Pea Shooter X5, Frozen Lettuce X5, Nuts X5, Sunflower X25, Sunshine Points. 397, Planting Land. 40 Defense Value. 500 over 500, Experience Value. 134 over 1600, Ability, Extraction, Gold Coin Upgrade, Unlocked Plants, Sunflower, Pea Shooter, Vertical Fruit, Potato Bud, Cabbage Shooter, Frozen Lettuce, Torch Stump, Charm Mushroom, Kiwi, Boomerang Shooter, Vegetable Question, Energy Flower, Fire Dragon Grass, Cherry Bomb, Steel Ground Spike Unlocked. Blueprint, Electric Green Tea, Gold Coins. 630, Plant Advanced, Pea Shooter, Level 3, Cabbage Shooter, Level 3, Sunflower, Level 2, Kiwi, Level 2, Nuts, Level 3, Frozen Lettuce, Level 3, Vegetable Question, Level 2, Potato Mine, Level 3, Fire Dragon Grass, Level 3, Brilliant Light, LV2 because the Level 3 nuts were used as materials for repairing the house. The defense value of the house soared to 500 points. It was already heading towards the momentum of indestructible. From the outside, the LV17 small farm had a feeling of farm experimental base. Big, magnificent, and there was a luxury apartment villa building in the middle. A full 5 floors, plus the area occupied. It was simply a manor. Looking at the farm in front of him, which he had worked so hard to protect, Su Lin felt very excited. Entering the gate, Su Yue happened to be in front of him. "Brother, what's the matter? Can you not go out?" Su Yue lowered her head. She stared at Su Lin's bandaged arm. First, she was worried about Su Lin's injury. Second, after what happened yesterday, she was also very scared. "Be good." Su Lin gently rubbed Su Yue's head. "You know, brother went out for something important. It's better to say that. Only by going out can I better protect you." Looking at Su Yue's aggrieved look, Su Lin said helplessly, "How about tomorrow? I'll take a day off tomorrow depending on the situation." Then Su Yue looked at Su Lin. "Okay then, since brother said so." She had no choice but to nod obediently. Tomorrow? Of course Su Lin has to take a day off and stay on the small farm, waiting for the arrival of the army. Several people gathered together again and ate a hearty lunch. On TV, various emergencies under the disaster were broadcast. Food shortages and drinking water shortages were no longer a big deal. The bigger trouble was the killing of humans. And there were also animals with genetic mutations infected by radiation. There was a wild dog. Its genes mutated into a 3-headed giant dog about 2 meters tall. The local army paid a huge price to directly eliminate it. Some cities were even more unlucky. Order has completely collapsed. The power of the town government no longer exists. Even places like police stations and military bases have been looted. It's not that these thugs are so powerful. It's that they have seized the most important things and threatened. Yes, food and drinking water. The thugs took these 2 things and exchanged them with police stations, military bases and other places. In the end, the thugs obtained weapons and dominated one side. In fact, how many places are there? It's these order managers who are in cahoots with the thugs. Su Lin looked at the news expressionlessly. His indifference formed a sharp contrast with the stunned others at the same table. After all, people who always run to Chunfeng City naturally know the situation in the city at this time, let alone the reborn. Su Lin coughed lightly. The facts are similar to what you see now, or it will only be more serious. Chapter 73, Chaoshu City. One person, one city? So, if you still want to live, stay here quietly. Don't always think about running outside. Also, always be vigilant. I'm worried, because the comfort here makes you ignore that there are big wolves outside. You are all little sheep, you have to be extremely careful. Su Lin said seriously. He was really worried, because life here is too good. So good that everyone thought they were on vacation. Thus, they ignored the reality of the end of the world. And then, when the outside forces invaded, they were just simple little sheep. After looking around, several people were also shocked by Su Lin's solemn eyes. They nodded subconsciously. They also listened to what Su Lin said. Then Su Lin looked at Director Liu, the person with the highest martial arts value here, except for Su Lin who had already forged his body, is Director Liu. If you encounter foreign enemies, sometimes you can only rely on Director Liu's martial arts. Director Liu was stunned for a moment, then nodded, looking at Su Lin firmly. It seemed as if he was saying again, don't worry, I'm here. Finally, Su Lin also looked at Liang Crossing. Liang Crossing smiled faintly. This smile, like a spring breeze, soothed Su Lin's somewhat uneasy heart. Okay, everyone, I'll go first, and try to go and come back, as soon as possible. By the way, when I'm not here, everything will be arranged by Liang Crossing. Liang Crossing, okay. Huh. Liang Crossing was stunned for a moment. She didn't expect it to be arranged like this. Isn't there Su Yue, Su Lin's biological sister? But Liang Crossing reacted quickly. Su Yue. She's still young. Just a little sister. She is the one who needs protection from others. How can she take on such a heavy responsibility? Thinking of this, Liang Crossing also secretly grabbed Su Yue's hand under the table. No problem, leave it to me. Thank you then, I'm leaving. Everyone waved his hand. Su Lin left the small farm. Sister Liang. Su Yue blinked and looked at Liang Crossing. It's okay, I promised your brother that I would protect you. Yeah. Su Yue lowered her head. Everything that was just reported on TV was a heavy blow to her little heart. She really didn't expect it. The situation outside was already so dangerous. After all, she was the first person to live in the small farm. She had long been out of touch with the ever-changing situation outside. Thank you, Sister Liang. Say this, come on, let's clean up the dishes. Yeah. On the other side, Su Lin had already ridden on a small motorcycle. He went to Chaoshu City. He wanted to find the so-called talent with a lightning ability. The TV news just talked about the ability. After the efforts of the experts, the final result was only gene mutation. What kind of impact it would have on this person with superpowers is still unclear. In fact, Su Lin himself didn't know. He only knew that in his previous life, there was indeed a person with superpowers. As for the final outcome of the superpowers, he didn't know. It could also be that he died too early and never encountered it. But genetic mutations are scary to hear about. Who wants genetic mutations? Speaking of Su Yue, when she heard about superpowers on the news just now, her eyes lit up. Sure enough, children are interested in these things. They are college students, and still like this. Su Lin couldn't help shaking his head. By the way, that Xiao Han and Xiao Wang also have bright eyes. I really don't know what young people are thinking nowadays. Although Su Lin is only in his 20s, after experiencing so much, he seems to have grown up a lot overnight. Soon, he arrived at Chaoshu City. It was originally the next city, very close to Chunfeng City. On the way, he picked up a half-drunk bottle of Tangai green tea by a vending machine with difficulty. This vending machine had been smashed to pieces. The glass cover and other things were also in a mess. There were still various drinks on the ground. Some were finished, and some were half drunk. I'm afraid that those half drunk drinks have been contaminated by radiation. The person who destroyed the vending machine threw it away without hesitation. A lightning bolt plus a bottle of Tangai green tea equals electric green tea. In order to merge into this electric green tea, Su Lin specially set out to come to this city that is said to have the lightning power. I thought that it would be troublesome to find some hard to find green tea. But I never thought that even a bottle of Tangai green tea would be no problem. Then it's a lightning bolt. Now Su Lin swallowed his saliva. Looking at Chaoshu City in front of him, he had a different feeling. It was an extremely ominous feeling. If, from the outside, Chunfeng City was just a barbecue in some places causing black smoke, then Chaoshu City was full of smoke. Not to mention, when he stepped into the Chaoshu City area, he felt the dark pressure coming from the sky. The crackling thunder and dark clouds. Oh my god. Just be straightforward and strike me with a bolt of lightning, so I don't have to go in. Su Lin's mouth twitched. He stared at the dangerous situation in front of him and just wanted to leave here quickly. Damn, if plants can be grown outside, or if I can use the plant's ultimate move, I don't have to be so timid. If it was in his own territory, then Su Lin would not be afraid. No matter what superpower you have. Take my ultimate move first. But this is outside. Su Lin's small farm can't be carried with him. I can only hope that with the upgrade of the farm, there will be other changes. Otherwise it will be troublesome to come out, and the self-protection ability is too poor. After complaining, Su Lin took a deep breath and walked into Chaoshu City. It was not the same dilapidated scene as Chunfeng City. It was even more serious. All the surrounding shops were robbed. The streets were empty. The dilapidated scene was even more vividly displayed on the road, with holes and shabby things everywhere. What's going on? Su Lin frowned. He was prepared for this kind of order collapse. It's just that all the shops and roads along the street seemed to be opened up by lightning. Traces of smashing and looting. Very few shadows of burning and looting. Very few. It felt like a group of thugs, using the power of lightning to vent their anger and violence, destroyed Chaoshu City so badly. I'm afraid it's not. Su Lin swallowed his saliva. He thought of a possibility. That is, one person, one city. The lightning superpowered person might have completely dominated Chaoshu City. He regarded it as his property. Chapter 74. The situation in Chaoshu City. Very domineering. Su Lin smacked his lips. He became more interested in the person he would meet next. In order to avoid alerting the enemy, he parked the scooter directly at the edge of Chaoshu City. He walked along the way, carefully. When he heard some movement in front of him, he immediately found a place to hide and secretly observed the situation in front. It was just a group of people who happened to pass by. It's strange. It feels like they are patrolling. What kind of ability does that superpower have to gather everyone together? Just as Su Lin was hiding at the edge of a ruin, concentrating his attention, in the corner behind him, that he had never noticed, a figure secretly appeared. This figure seemed to be looking for something on the ground with his head down. But inadvertently, he saw Su Lin hiding and sneaking around. The figure was stunned. After looking around for a moment, after confirming that Su Lin was the only one around, he subconsciously tightened the stick in his hand. He took a few cautious steps forward. When he was far enough away, he suddenly raised the stick in his hand. He chopped Su Lin hard. With a snap. Unexpectedly, this attack with the stick, that was sure to win, was dodged by Su Lin. It was a completely subconscious action. When the stick was swung up, Su Lin subconsciously felt the danger. He dodged it immediately. It was a close call. After all, after bodybuilding, Su Lin's physical fitness was not comparable to that of ordinary people. However, the stick hit Su Lin's shoulder firmly. He was in pain and quickly covered his shoulder. He looked at the front with a painful and puzzled face. He was stunned for a moment, because he saw a panicked boy. A boy about 15 or 16 years old. You can dodge this? The boy quickly threw away the remaining half of the stick in his hand. Can't hit it with one blow? What are you doing? Run away. Seeing this, Su Lin, regardless of the pain in his shoulder, immediately chased after him. After a few steps, the boy was caught up by Su Lin. Su Lin grabbed the boy's hand tightly. He wanted to punch him. The boy quickly begged for mercy. Brother, please let me go. I'm just asking for food. Asking for food. Su Lin rolled his eyes. Although the person in front of him was just a little boy, he certainly didn't dare to let down his guard. Subconsciously, he used force with his palm to tightly hold the boy's arm. Your way of asking for food is to knock me out. Sorry, it hurts. The boy was so anxious that he almost cried. I'm sorry, brother, I haven't eaten for 2 days. I came out of the air raid shelter to find food, but I felt embarrassed when I saw you sneaking around here. Brother, I won't dare to do it again. Kid, Su Lin asked condescendingly, what do you want to do after knocking me out? I want to see if there is anything edible in your pocket. It's that simple. You didn't want to eat human flesh. No, no, no. The boy shook his head repeatedly. That disgusting look in his eyes would not lie. It seems that this young boy has not been completely driven into a desperate situation and has not done anything unforgivable. Humph, Su Lin gritted his teeth. Then why are you targeting me? You look like someone from other places. If you were a local in Chaoshu City, I wouldn't take this risk. Oh, what do you mean? You're from another place, so you shouldn't know. Alas, in the entire Chaoshu City, no one else has food left, let alone a single person, even any organization, agency, family, base, etc. can't have supplies. Because, the damn Thunder King. Thunder King. Well, no one knows his real name. We only know that he appeared in Chaoshu City 5 days ago. He is a thunder and lightning supernatural who can control thunder and lightning. And he suppressed the entire Chaoshu City at an extremely fast speed and with extremely terrifying means, and directly took over Chaoshu City. Then he used just one day to exploit all the supplies in the entire city of Chaoshu City and threw them all into his villa fortress. At this point, the boy's eyes showed unstoppable trembling fear. It seems that what happened these days, in the boy's heart, a deep shadow was left. In short, he has become the true king of this city. Want to eat and drink? You have to surrender to him. It's impossible to escape. The situation outside is the same. The Thunder King has also organized a self-defense force and started patrolling the entire city area today. Wow, Su Lin raised his eyebrows. This Thunder King is really vigorous and resolute. I really should let Yan Wu come and take a look. They are also superpowers. Yan Wu himself is just occupying the mountain as a king, collecting a number of believers as his younger brothers, and entertaining himself. But the Thunder King took control of the entire city. But this Thunder King sounds familiar. Su Lin pursed his lips. I don't know where I have heard this title. So, what about you? Su Lin looked at the boy. You also submitted to the Thunder King? No. The boy sighed and shook his head. There are still some people who don't obey him. Those who don't obey him are either killed, expelled, or all hiding in underground air raid shelters. Oh, there are also underground air raid shelters. Well, it's the last base. Okay, thank you for telling me so much information. Su Lin nodded. In other words, you just came out to find food. Yeah, and then I met you. At this point, the boy couldn't help but lower his head, his face full of blushing shame. Here, take it, as information fees. Su Lin directly took out some food and drinking water from the space pocket. But seeing these fees, that are more precious than gold, the boy's eyes are straight. Are these for me? Yeah, although my shoulder hurts so much, it's good to get the information. Then the boy still hesitated. I was probably dreaming that I could get food and water just by talking about what happened in Chaoshu City. However, he was so hungry that he snatched the food from Su Lin's hand, thanked him repeatedly, and ate it with big mouthfuls. Eat slowly, don't be in a hurry, I won't steal it from you. I have something to ask of you after you finish eating. Other boy burped. What is it? I'm going to find the Thunder King. Do you know where he is? Burp. The boy drank several gulps of water before saying, are you going to die? Get lost. Are you going to join him? Get lost. Su Lin rolled his eyes. Join him? It's more like he joined Su Lin. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.